Nice, Stones.
Hello, we are here.
We're here. We're good. We're live.
We're on the interwebs.
We're here.
Yes.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Awesome Talk, Season 11, Episode 12, the season finale on August 27th, 2019.
Or maybe at the end of this, we just let it stay live until the next show in a month and a half.
So what? People just look into our.
Yeah.
Damien's here. Of course, that's exactly what the fuck would happen. Sorry, we're late for anybody who's watching.
Holy shit.
What?
We're really late.
We're super fucking late, dude. But we have a great show tonight, man. We have a really great show for you tonight. Tonight, should I wait for? Well, let me just welcome Carl Callan here to the show tonight. Welcome.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate you having me.
No problem at all. Can I have a clinky for you?
It was a little bit of a problem, not because of you, but just because we can't get our shit together.
Here, shit's rocking all
Do
over
we
the
have
place.
sound while we're at it?
Anybody's watching, let me know if you can hear us. So I just want to make
If
sure.
this show comes out soundless, I will personally go in and weirdly non-transcribe the whole thing to some other fucking
You are
weird
mega white on camera.
Yeah, I was just
Mega white. So if you
Oh,
want
God,
to adjust
with
that, you
this.
can do that. So I assume that's probably Damien who just rang the bell.
Sweet.
So like I'm thinking like because we just got started, let's go with a slow what we call it around the bar. Okay? That's where you say your
talking
name.
slow, or what do you mean slow?
Hey guys.
Hey.
I think Damien's here.
When he walks through, can
Hey, what's up, man? Welcome, dude. Welcome.
Hey, dude.
You can come right in and sit down right away because we just went live just now.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, we got started late because my computer had a heart attack, and we literally just started. I just introduced Carl Callan to the bar.
How you doing, Pat?
Damien, pleasure.
So we're live. People are watching.
Aha!
This is Carl.
Carl? Pleasure meeting you, Damien.
You know Stones.
I know Stones.
Yeah. I love that because what's the matter? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the stupid lighting.
That's good. That's probably way better.
You're glowing again.
I'm gonna glow a little, man. I'm whiter than fucking snow.
He's a lily-livered.
I'm
white as
lily-livered.
snow.
Isn't that delayed though on there?
Snow
Yeah,
White.
there's a delay.
There's a bit of a
There's
delay.
a delay up there. There's not a
See
delay.
it? There you go. See, I made the reaction.
Whatever.
Ta-da.
The
Just
happy
gonna have to
reaction.
fucking deal with the way it is, everyone.
So welcome to the bar, Damien from Right Fight Concepts. Demiurge. Damien's also going to sing tonight, by the way.
I am so excited.
I'm so excited.
That sounded sarcastic because I'm like really anxious, but it wasn't sarcastic at all. I'm
I thought
actually
you were
really
requesting a
excited about all
song.
of it.
I hope it sounds reasonable. I've been screaming at people about simulating murder all day, so I don't know.
Who hasn't?
I know, right?
Yeah, it's a regular thing.
Yeah. it's just- So let's do it around the bar. Okay, that's where we introduce ourselves and we say something about ourselves. My name is Rick, and I enjoyed the last episode of Baskets.
I'm Stones. Hence the hat.
Yeah, that's what we all thought of.
Yeah, that's what we thought of when we saw
We
your
saw that hat. We were like, that guy's name must be Stones.
Right.
Yeah.
There it is.
Or to be more accurate, that guy must go by the name of Stones
Or something with an
in
S.
public.
Yeah, sure.
Which begs the question, what would marijuana do to Kryptonian DNA? For later.
I'm so happy you brought that up, dude.
Yeah,
Do they have a cannabinoid system?
Aha.
because if they do, it might even be stronger.
And if they don't, it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah.
We need to keep talking about people because this can spiral into madness.
It's already on
Let's
its way.
try. Let's try and get there.
I'm Pat, and I also have a hat.
It's a pat and a hat.
Pat and a hat,
But,
if
Yep.
you will.
All right.
Oh, my name is Carl Corrado Callan, and I grew up north in Kearney, New Jersey. And I had a big blowout with my boss. I came down the shore and I started doing stand-up comedy, where I met Angelo Gingerelli, who is an associate of Rick Carr. And I'm here now. Thank you for having me. I apologize.
Sorry.
I didn't even
It was the
drink
one
enough.
bottle on the fucking bar that had a cap on it. So
It worked out.
yeah.
I'm Damien, and I like long walks on the beach. I don't actually. I don't really know because I haven't been to a beach this year. And I teach people how to fight for a living.
All right.
Pretty badass.
All right.
All right.
Nice.
I'm Sarah. I don't have anything. Just move on.
All right. All right.
It's the last show.
Yeah, it's the
You
last
gotta-
show of the
you
of the
gotta-
greatest season of Austin
gotta
Talk of
say
all time.
something.
It's cool how the seasons keep getting better. You know.
They are getting
This
better.
season, absolutely.
This Susan. I said this Susan. Yeah.
Hey, Susan got better too.
Yeah.
Everybody got
We
better.
were all praying for her. You know? Go ahead.
Susan's definitely one of those names that went by the wayside.
It
I've
really
never
did.
met a little
Yeah.
kid named Susan.
Me neither. Never met anyone named Susan.
That's a good point.
I have met a couple Susans.
Little kids, though?
Not
Like
little kids.
newly named Susan?
Could you
No.
imagine a
Like
little
a-
girl
a
calling her
baby
Susan?
No, there's no Susans.
What's the baby's name? Susan.
No, because they would say Susie.
No, the youngest
Or
Susan in the world is probably 58.
What's the oldest person you teach
That's
to
what
fight?
I think.
The oldest person, 71.
Yes.
Two guys. One's name is Jerry.
fucking awesome.
One's name is Bob. And they're both 71.
Nice.
And I wouldn't talk about their mothers. Mostly because, well, only one of them has a mother anymore.
Wouldn't it be crazy
But-
if both their moms were named Susan?
I think
Yeah.
one of their moms was named Susan.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Talk about a full circle moment right here.
Yeah, we're having a lot of those.
It's
Yeah,
nothing more awkward than doing a your mom joke. To
If
somebody
I was going to
whose
name this
mom's
episode, it
dead.
would be Full Circle Moment.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Ah!
I thought we were
Please
just
don't let
not
it
doing
eat
it.
anything.
I'm Matt, and
I don't know what the hell it is. It just looks,
we're having a show at the Mill Hill on Saturday.
We are having a show at the Mill Hill on Saturday. I'm hosting that show. Stones is coming.
Rocket Saturday.
Maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Seems like
Don't
it.
start.
Stones is coming.
So-
Pat's coming now.
Seems like it.
I might be coming. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we're all going to be there. So can I just come right out the gate with the inflammatory topic?
Sure.
Do you guys mind?
As long as you have tea in the back, because if I laugh too much, my singing might be compromised.
Okay. I think we have throat coat if you need it.
Something.
Anybody needs a throat coat?
You just suck on those tea bags.
Yeah. You suck those wet tea bags until your throat feels good.
All right.
So anyway, here's the thing.
Anyway,
So here's the
segue.
set me up for a joke, and then so anyway, she said she wanted to talk about this in the show tonight. Bulletproof backpacks.
That's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the fact that a store has taken them off the shelves and refuses to sell them, and I wondered what people's opinions were on that. They didn't put out a statement. They just basically declined to say anything about why they did it.
Huh.
I think it was an Office Depot or Office something store, and it was in New Jersey. Yeah.
Bulletproof backpacks.
If it was a benevolent thing they were doing, I have heard of some companies making bulletproof backpacks that don't even do anything.
Yeah.
So maybe it was
They
one
thought
of
that it
those
wasn't
types,
actually
and they
bulletproof.
wanted to make but I doubt it was like that. It's probably
Could you
someone-
imagine the fucking Office
Infighting or
Depot
something.
manager taking one of those backpacks and like, come on, we're gonna test this shit.
Right.
Take me.
Yeah.
Just a big
Where's
field
this
with a-
fucking
with a
backpack?
concrete
He's like,
block
shoot
wall.
me.
Yeah.
Shoot me.
Right. Steve, the manager. Somebody
Yeah.
shoot me in the back.
I'm a little upset if that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. That's not gonna get you employee of the
You'd
month.
think they do that before they start selling. I mean, not the manager of the store, but the actual product. The backpacks go for like $120 each or something.
Yeah.
That's pretty cheap for Kevlar.
It better
That's,
stop a few
That's
bullets.
not
But wait, how
bad.
much?
I thought it would be more.
That's
How-
the
how
problem.
much
It's
were
not
you-
that
What's
bad.
your life worth?
Wait, how
When
much
you go
were
to school.
JanSports when we were younger? Like,
They were
I
like
feel like
80,
they were
70.
pretty
I mean, like
expensive,
70 or
right?
80 bucks for
Yeah,
a Jan
yeah.
Sport. Now you
Yeah,
tell me
so,
it can
like-
block bullets?
Right.
Yeah, that's
Right,
not
for
much of
120?
an increase in price.
Yeah, but Kevlar is a material that is just very difficult to create,
A backpack
and
out of.
$120 seems a little low
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the quality of
Maybe
the
that's
Kevlar.
what the Office Depot manager
So-
was considering.
Yeah, maybe the quality
Yeah.
is just as crap.
Yeah. Nobody wants a crap bulletproof
But,
backpack.
yeah, I mean,
I'd take it. You
Just
guys
keep
should
the
probably
sign on
like,
it bulletproof so nobody buys
It's not the only. Now I've seen like bulletproof hoodies that were just released. They look like just regular, like normal sweatshirts.
Does anybody have a problem with the whole bulletproof life?
A little bit, yeah. The need for it, yeah. Of course.
I have a logical conundrum with it, and it always fucks me up. Where the whole, like, I'm not opposed to guns, but I also don't think that logical gun laws are a problem at all. At the same time, when Four Loko fucks up a bunch of college students, everybody scrambles to ban the shit out of that. But when it's bullets and guns, it's like, I don't know. I meet a lot of people who are even into guns who don't really even seem to understand how the gun laws work. So
I wonder
it's really
if the
confusing.
Kevlar hoodie breathes well. I hope it does.
If it's bad.
couple 4 logos. I'm fucking
It's hard to have an in between. It's hard
I
to
wouldn't
have
even
an
know
in
they were
between
shooting.
with guns. It's like,
a couple of Four Locos.
if you're gonna do guns, then you have to do it all the way. If you're not gonna do guns, you have to do it all the way. There's like really no good in between. You know, because
I don't know.
the current system.
Japanese
like,
seems to
when I was
have a way
15,
more
I can
figured
still
out
do
than we
this.
do.
Any kid can go to a gun show right now and just pick up a gun,
Right, that's a problem.
and there's gonna be somebody there willing to sell it to them.
Yeah.
Because there's
Bear in
nothing you can
mind,
do about it.
Any mass shooting that's occurred in recent memory has been done with guns that were legally purchased.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have black market guns hosing down kids in schools.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is actually a topic that hits very close to home for several reasons. One, I have 3 kids, so right now we're getting ready to put them into school, and I've actually been asking the principal and the superintendent about their security policies and protocols and all that stuff. Nature of my job, I've actually worked with a number of other superintendents regarding their policies and all that. It's another matter. But I also had a friend who was killed in a mass shooting.
Oof.
And her, what it was her 16-year-old grandson had, he was unstable, that kind of thing. They had an
Right.
they had an AR-15.
How did he obtain it?
It was his father's.
Okay.
He got it out of the closet, loaded it up, and hosed his family down. And this is a woman I worked with for most of my life. And she was, we used to be, we both acted for the same production company. We were doing murder mystery theater and stuff like that. But it was completely legally purchased. All the I don't know if he stored the magazines or not. I mean, however it was, the 16-year-old kid got his hands on it. So there is literally nothing that could have stopped that apart from the gun not being there. And so then there comes the question, do you really need an AR-15? And so then do you need a high capacity magazine or any of that, or would it even matter?
Let me tell you something. The only
So-
person I know in the world who owns an AK-47 is not the fucking person in the world that I want owning a fucking AK-47.
And here's the thing too. When you look at the Second Amendment, any argument, any angle you take on it, the most gun positive angle you could take on the Second Amendment, whichever. I don't know. Brady teaching people. Anyway, the amendment of guns. It's not Second Amendment, but anyway, you get the idea.
Yeah.
So the weapon amendment. Brain. So where was I going with this? My brain.
You're talking about guns.
Yeah, guns.
Second Amendment.
Yeah, fuck. All right, whatever. Anyway, continue. I'll find it again.
All right, no
It's
problem.
lost in there.
Well, people that think there's reasons to have AR-15s are like, well, it's for protection, it's for
Oh,
this, it's for that.
that's
And
what I
I
meant,
kind of
yeah.
feel like if you can still own guns, but maybe have to sort of say, you know what, I would like to have that gun, but I'm not allowed because it's for the greater good of my fellow man and community. How about we just, instead of trying to tiptoe around saying to gun owners, hey, we're not going to come and steal your fucking shit away, but there has to be a couple sacrifices for everyone's safety
Yeah.
overall. Like, I'm getting a little pissed off that no one just has the balls to tell gun owners, hey, guess what, guys? You might have to take a little bit of a hit. You might not be able to get the gun you really want. Like,
Yeah.
why is that so hard to say? Why is that so hard to even swallow? Like, I'm going to make this sacrifice because I'd like to think that the school down the street street might be safer if I don't own this for
Well,
for the rest of the
handguns
country.
that shoot the
Well,
same
there's
bullets.
the
though.
hero mentality.
Well,
of,
wait,
like,
wait,
well,
wait,
if I have
wait,
a gun,
wait,
I'll
wait.
use it to.
Hold on.
There's a difference.
Yeah, there were good guys with guns in most
No,
of these
there's
situations,
other guns
and they
that
didn't
shoot the
fucking
exact same
save.
bullets.
They,
Yeah,
they
but
didn't.
not
My point about the
not as
amendment, by the way, was
quickly.
originally it was intended to stop a predatory government.
Right.
Yeah.
Back when everyone had the
Malicious.
same type of access to the same type of weapons. Now,
Right. Now they
the
can
government
laser your
can-
brain from
they can,
space.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they can drone
Pretty
you in your
much,
living
so-
room. So
Yeah,
it's-
you're right,
You're not
dude.
gonna go get
So
against
that's
tanks.
what I was
Listen,
digging for.
I used to
Anything
say
else.
the same thing. I used to be like, you need guns in case the government turns on you, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm like, yeah, they could shoot me with lasers from space
Why
and
does
fry
our
my
local
fucking brain.
police department have grenade launchers?
They should sound at you. You don't even see it.
Because they're
coming.
fun.
I think overall that amendment's a hit and miss.
Oh, like
Well,
people-
they're interpreted differently. I mean, like decades later, the interpretation morphs. Like AR-15s didn't fucking exist at the time. You know,
Right.
like
Right.
no one wrote that thinking. One day we want everyone to have their own tank and grenade launcher. Write that down. Write that down.
Write that
you
down.
know, like it's not what they were fucking thinking about.
No, and I mean, you're right, and that's the problem is though. How do you go forward, and any attempt to create a dialogue of self-sacrifice is just falling flat because, damn commies, hey, you saying
Yeah.
I gotta get like no, come on. At that point, it just evolves into the obvious sectarian nonsense that we've been put into politically
Yeah.
about this and any number of other issues. So,
Yeah, I think that politicians, when they say something won't happen, usually the opposite happens, and that's been the American way for like ever. And like, so if they say we're only going to do this one thing, but it'll completely, they're going to completely
Snowball.
do something totally fucking different with it. That's what everyone's afraid of, because that's what's happened time and time again with, you know, fucking bailing people out, fucking.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, they
like-
put an
like, you know,
amendment
like-
that says
like
you
all
shouldn't
of it.
fuck kids,
Like-
and then there's an addendum hidden in there that we're not allowed to make grilled cheese sandwiches anymore or something weird. And it's like, can we just get a clean, clear
It's like a
idea
it's kind of like
here?
a paradox because the people that want to protect themselves are right because criminals do have guns. Then no matter what you're gonna do, you know, even,
Right,
Like
that's
I
it.
said,
But,
logical
but
outcome.
that- but
Either
that's
kid
the
can go
argument
get a
for
gun
saying
right now
all
if
guns
he
should be
wants to.
banned. But that's not the argument. People can still protect themselves. They can still
Right,
have
but
guns, but they don't have to have
at the same
like
time, like, the other
high-powered
side is also
nightmare
true.
weapons.
Yeah.
Because if the guns aren't around, then less people are going to get shot by accident or by the spontaneous.
Yeah.
I'm mad right now. I have access to a gun. I'm
Wait,
going to
but
just
the
grab it
other
out of the
part-
closet.
It's not just
You know.
that it can kill, but the amount. I mean, if you could kill like 100 people in less than a minute, that weapon is a little bit troublesome. Like, if I could kill more people with a weapon in less than a minute than I could with like a fucking like a grenade launcher, like it's just that the amount of people it can kill in such a short amount of time,
which is shown obviously by recent events.
Hatim just said,
If
but
you're good
it's
enough
not
with
an
a gun,
all-or-nothing
you can do that
argument.
with a handgun.
No, it's not.
By the way, hello,
But not
Hatim.
that many people in that short amount of time. Is
Hello,
what I'm
Keith
saying.
Kenny.
Like,
Keith Kenny's
yes,
in the
it
chat.
can kill people.
What's
but
up?
if
My
I
mom's
walked
there.
into a crowd of people with a
What's up,
pistol,
Madison?
Yeah, you
I
gotta,
would
like-
never be
And
able to get.
if you only get 10 shots in the pistol,
Well, here's
and you can't go real fast, people. I mean, by the time
They
you get
have
to the 10th bullet,
semi-automatic.
you know,
they
a
have-
few
they
seconds
have
have
even
passed.
Like,
Look at the
they
psychological
have crazy
element, too.
handguns now.
When one human being kills another, there's a sense of power there, and when you do it with a handgun as opposed to an automatic weapon or even a semi-automatic weapon, you're getting a different feeling psychologically.
Yes.
So it's
wait, hold on. Can I just speak on that for a second? Jesse Ventura used to say something that I used to agree with and no longer agree with. He said, you can't ban guns, you know, because then you're saying I'm going to ban these high-powered weapons. And he goes, well, I get in my car and do the same fucking thing. And he goes, you're going to ban cars? He goes, I can mow down all kinds of people. I can kill everybody,
Yeah,
right?
but there are
That's-
restrictions on who can drive the car.
But that's not the point. The point is that a gun psychologically does something to you that a car does not.
Damn it, Hollywood.
It's I'm in power. I will motherfucking kill
there's
you.
a
all.
wonderful-
Anybody can steal a
there's
car
a
without a
wonderful
license
quote
and
from
run
Game
people
of
over,
Thrones that what is it? How the hell does it go? It's basically you put a sword in a man's hand, and he becomes an animal. He's that kind
Yeah.
of like, something wakes up. There's an animal sleeping in each man, and it wakes up, and he puts a sword in his hand.
Yeah.
There's a thing
So
where
what
you
were
like
you gonna say,
wearing
Carl?
bright red does that to people.
I was watching a picture the other day on TMC. I'm gonna say TMZ. And fucking the guy goes, he has a gun, and he goes, "You're wacky." Just perspective wise, because you're talking about like you're going like 1940, whatever the fuck, and like this is like, you know, the way guns are portrayed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so many 80s babies, fucking Rambo, fucking whatever the fuck. You go, when did this, like, how, mass shootings? Columbine? Or is that the first one?
Exactly.
Columbine was the
the
Pandora's box because
It's the most
Columbine.
media coverage.
Columbine. Yeah, well, that's exactly it. When Columbine happened, there was a moment. It was a watershed moment at that point where the media could have handled it one of two ways. They could have made the shooters relatively anonymous. They could have talked about the victims. They could have kind of kept it moving, or they could have done what they did, which is turn the shooters into legends. They became urban legends.
Yeah.
They were like the proverbial youthful Robin Hoods now, and that opened up a box that we cannot close
They
anymore.
still are.
They lied about both.
Of course they did.
They lied about the shooters, and they lied about the victims.
That's how legends work.
Yeah. Yeah, most legends are fucking shitty people.
But you don't know that.
Dig down into
Christopher Columbus is a shithead.
Let's not even
That's
get
a
on
legend.
Columbus.
That's only still around. Just the
Honestly,
song
though, it
rhyme
could have
or
been De La
whatever.
Casa's just lying.
Whatever the case is, it made, and I understand why the initial approach was made, because these two young men who were bullied and pushed to this and all that, and of course they didn't mention that one of them was a goddamn sociopath. And,
Yeah.
and there's so many things they didn't mention because there was a narrative that sold, that they were able to present to the public that got everybody fucking excited, and then it just created copycats. So many. Anytime you create a martyr, anytime you create any sort of hero who goes down in guns blazing, you're gonna have copycats all the time, and that's what we got now. You know.
Hold on, I just wanted to reach out to the chat there because we're missing some things. Also, hello, what's up, hot team? Madison, great comment. Sarah, I agree. I think anyone on any medicine for any type of anxiety or mental health issue should have to get a letter saying so to get your driver's license renewed. Everyone should.
Dude, if
I can't see
everyone
it.
had to get a letter from a doctor to
Yeah,
get a license
for
because they have
renewal.
anxiety,
Anxiety people don't get
everyone,
licenses, really.
then everyone would have to get a doctor's note.
It would help. It would be also to make to own an AK-47 or any weapon that fires multiple rounds quickly, unless
you're-
you are a police officer.
Here's the
Thoughts. Anna is in the chat. What's up, Anna? Emily is in the chat. That's another issue.
That's
Press
a big
needs to
issue
stop
because in the middle of the country,
identifying the shooters.
cops take a half hour to get to your house.
It's a totally different situation, but it's
Yeah,
not a
If
matter
you're in the
of
city
not.
and they're 2 minutes away,
But,
sure.
but to be fair,
They
if
just
even
don't
you're
then, they're gonna show up
protecting,
after the fact.
but to be fair, dude, if you're in the middle of like Oklahoma in a field
Mm-hmm.
and someone was trying to break into your house,
Yeah, that's where the
what
problem
are the
lies.
chances are that there is a crowd of 50 guys trying to break into your farm and you need to shoot them all down? Like, a regular ass gun would probably still protect your
Well, you better
homestead.
be a good shot if you're in the
You can
dark.
get a
You
salt
might not
gun.
hit them.
Literally, a gun that shoots salt pellets.
Yeah.
You don't even need to kill them.
I
The
mean,
one
yeah,
that-
if the
I would
objective
imagine
is
in
to
a field
kill or
having
is the
a spray,
objective to stop?
Isn't the worst.
Oh,
If you're in a
Sometimes those
dark
lines
ass
blur a little
field, you're
depending
not
on the
gonna see shit.
circumstances.
You're gonna miss a whole lot. So you're
So
gonna
you
want a lot of
just wanna
bullets.
spray it.
Were we
Yeah.
talking antidepressants?
We
Somebody
are a
said
little
It's
bit
a different
because
world
she's
when you're
talking
out
about
there.
antidepressants.
You know, it's not the same.
And so part of the conversation here about shooters is that
Every one of them.
There's not
is
street
on
lights.
anti-
Oh,
Like,
so I read a thing that happened in New Jersey today where a woman, the Jackson police posted this today. A woman had reported she was being followed, and she felt like she was being followed. Right, so she pulls into a fucking public parking lot. She calls a family member and says, "I need you to meet me here. I think I'm being followed." Right. She pulls into a parking space. Family member is there. Guy pulls up fucking behind her, blocks her car in. Right. Then he gets out of the car and starts trying to pull her fucking door open, claiming he's a federal agent.
Nope.
Now the police show up. The guy gives them his Great Adventure coupon, his driver's license, and his handicap placard that he hangs in the window. And he goes, "These are my credentials. I am a federal agent. I am a federal agent."
Oh boy.
And it bothers me that guy has access to things. Do you understand what I'm saying? There are too many motherfucking people walking around. 'Cause you were talking about
You take enough
right?
Xanax, that'll happen to you.
Yeah, but a lot of
You
people
take enough Ambien, that'll happen.
I was just about to say that.
It's a manifestation a lot of the times. Like it's not a constant thing in people's. Like there's at some point like like usually bipolar or schizophrenia. Like these illnesses, from what I understand, my understanding of it comes a lot of times in males in their mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
And so you have this whole entire life where you're looking at the person and they're normal, and then fucking out of nowhere, it's just like, oh shit, something's fucking wrong here. But
Yeah.
you don't know the degree of how wrong it is because it's going to manifest itself into
Yeah.
all different ways until, you know, I mean, you first obviously have to treat it, and you have to try, and you have
I
to
just
give the
think we're
person
dealing with
freedoms
multiple.
and liberties.
I think it's
you know, you have to-
multiple issues.
until
it's
they prove
access.
themselves otherwise.
It's adolescent rage. Adolescent rage should not have easy access to a weapon.
It's the parents that have the access.
Right.
Right.
So having kids, should that bar us from buying guns?
Well, don't have them
Jesus.
laying out, and like, you know, you have to
Well,
be
many times they
responsible
don't.
about it.
Many times, yeah, you're right, but even just
Safe.
having a gun increases the odds of getting shot.
The thing I
Wait,
hate
so-
about
so the
safes
other
is like,
question
how are
is
you going to get
as
to the
a
gun when
parent,
you need it if it's in a safe?
How hard do you have to?
Kinda defeats the
How hard
purpose
do you
of
have
it.
to consider if it's worth the even if your kids are the most responsible kids ever? You can't be sure that all their friends that come over when you're not around
Yeah.
are the most responsible. Like there's even if it's a 1% chance, there is a chance that your little kid will get your gun. So as a gun owner, how much of a percentage are you willing to risk the kids' lives on your desire for that gun?
Not only that, but if you,
I mean, not you personally.
Well,
just
no,
saying,
but-
you know.
if you disassemble the gun to create a safe environment for kids in the house, so for instance, say I have a gun, and I disassemble parts of the gun, put the gun in a safe area, put the ammunition in another safe area that I don't tell my kids about, something completely different, or that even then, at that point, how is the weapon useful for self-defense?
Exactly.
I don't have
why it's
immediate
like-
access
it's
to it,
like
should
a
I- they're
paradox.
holding
Bill
Bill
Burr does a
It's
whole
paradox.
fucking bit about this.
So-
Bill Burr does a whole bit about if you take a fucking gun apart and you have it stored all over the fucking house, and now somebody breaks in, now you're running around the house trying to put it
What I
together.
think
Hold on one
And
second.
you're saying-
Hold
yeah,
on.
hold on a minute.
What I
Yeah.
think people need to admit is that they're not collecting guns for self-defense. They're collecting guns because
Because
they
they're
collect guns.
awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
Them being awesome is not a good enough reason to collect them. What were you gonna say?
Yeah.
I was saying, like, you throw them in a box, you write on it, "Mom's dildos."
Nobody's
Oh,
going
I
on
got
that.
I'm fooling. No, but about antidepressants,
Yeah. Sure.
I support them up until I can't come. And I think that's overlooked I think it's an overlooked thing, like, as far as, like, you're saying kids getting medicated and blah, blah, blah. Anybody who knows, anybody who's taking an antidepressant, anybody who's found themselves not able to come.
Yeah.
It's fucking brutal. And
Seems
back
like
to
the-
Damien's point, they lied to us. Everything about Columbine that people still to this day, the kids were bullied, blah, blah, blah. It's none of it was
Yeah.
true. Like he was saying, a
No, you're
charming
right.
sociopath
You are right.
and a psychopath,
Yeah.
and it was the perfect storm of whatever. Jefferson County fucking hides some records,
Yeah.
and all these years later, you have essentially copycats. Exactly.
Not just
what-
copycats, but you're right, man. They're sort of martyred. Only recently, less than a year ago, there was a woman in the news who she was, I think she was barely 20, and she was on her way to commit a mass shooting. And when she was questioned by the police, she cited the Columbine shooters as heroes
Right,
to her.
I remember
Well,
that.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is- yeah.
There was a guy last year. My dojo's in New Egypt, so there was the New Egypt high school graduation. There was a guy who was going to shoot up the graduation. He made a plan. He was
Jesus
about to execute
fuck,
it.
dude.
The cops caught him literally the day before.
Oh my God! Stop! Why is everybody?
He said it wasn't the Columbine shooters. It was there was somebody who shot people in a movie theater. Somewhere at Orange.
James
And
Holmes.
Also
Yeah.
in Colorado,
James
I
Holmes.
Yes,
think.
and he was imitating that guy. That guy was his hero, and apparently they had corresponded.
Oh my
in
God.
jail or something. Whatever it was, that was what he admitted to. He was imitating someone else, and maybe he was bullied, maybe he wasn't. There was definitely issues there mentally. I happen
Yeah.
to know the kids, so there was
If you
a
want to kill a
disconnect.
bunch of people, there's got to be
But-
something
Yeah.
wrong with you.
But the thing is, he was going to do it in an outdoor graduation. You know, I mean,
Okay, so Anna says, hold on, Madison, parents should be held responsible for their children.
Up to a point. I mean, you try and teach the kid not to shoot up the school, I would think.
Sure. Hey, what's up, Alien, man? What's up, man? We miss you tonight, dude.
When I was a kid, I don't think my parents ever told me that.
Yeah, don't
I
go
don't think
shoot
they
up the
had
school.
to go tell me, don't go
Yeah,
shoot
they
up the
didn't
school.
have
They
to.
didn't have to.
Yeah.
But it's not just a weapon, it's easy access and knowledge of things like Photoshop to make badges or... I'm sorry, I can't read it. I
And
can't
IDs
see.
in Amazon where you get uniforms that look so realistic and crap like that.
So, in other
Basically,
words,
fake IDs.
it's more than that. Like, we're going now we're going way deeper. Now we're going dark
It's hard
web,
to
real
make a
life.
fake ID.
Yeah. Nowadays it is. It's getting that way.
It's getting that way.
It's getting that way.
need
You remember back in the day we used to be able to fake anything? Like I remember I used to buy like a piece of shit car for like $200, and like my
Inkjet
buddy who
printer.
worked at like a fucking mechanic shop could get me like a inspection sticker.
Yeah,
but he get me like
yeah, with
50
the hair
of them
dryer.
for like $5.
You get the hair dryer,
Yeah,
you
hair
get
dryer.
nice
You pull the
and
shit
hot
off.
and pull it off.
Back when America was great. When America was great.
You
Yeah.
just laminate the stuff right at school.
Yeah.
Jay and Brady's in chat. What's up, buddy? Finally caught the show. Yeah, man, dude, we're talking about gun control and what the hell it is we can do about it. Because we're not really sure what to do about it, dude. Seems to be we're dealing with a lot of mental illness.
The
We're
thing,
dealing
that,
with yeah.
the thing that I find really pathetic, honestly, and this actually happens in a lot of categories, but I find it really pathetic that when you talk to people that live in almost any other fucking country, they all just are confused. They're like, the rest of the world looks at the United States every time there's a shooting, and they're like, what the hell
fuck?
are they doing
Yeah,
over
like-
there? This is crazy. I don't understand it.
Yeah,
this
right.
would never
Yeah.
happen where I live. I don't understand what's wrong
But
with
it did,
all
but
of you.
that was
and it's like,
Australia
I
recently.
wish
They
that
couldn't
I
believe
wish that
happened
more
there.
everyday United States citizens would spend more time listening to what people outside of the country think about what they see on our news, because I think that we're so molded into our U.S. bubble that this has become completely fucking normal to sit around and talk about. And it's not.
Yeah.
This is not normal to do. This being a debate at all isn't normal. It's just normal to us.
Well,
That's what's sad.
That's actually a good point. What happens if the government starts disarming us and then decides
Would there
to
really
just
be a
take
revolution,
over?
though? I mean,
No, because they
No,
divided us.
no, we're too divided for a revolution.
Like in Venezuela or whatever, they start
The
inflating
thing about
the prices.
Hong Kong is that everybody's on the same
value
page.
our dollar. They're in power now. They have all the guns.
Right.
And now they ruin our economy, and now everybody's in the shitter. Except
Listen
for
to me.
them.
America.
Do you think
And now we
that
can't
if,
do anything about it
Well,
because
here's
we
a
don't
question.
even have guns.
If nearly every United States citizen had a gun, do you think that would be enough to stop the billion-dollar military-industrial complex that would come after us if the United States government
They could
decided
fly your
to
brain
fuck
from
you all?
space.
Well,
Yeah.
I think a certain amount of them will defend the government at all costs.
A lot of
but
them
a lot of
will.
them will defect. Not everybody's going to defend it.
Well, my point is that our guns are useless against that.
And by the way, there's
I
no
mean, the
revolution here.
technology.
There's no
Right.
revolution
Yeah,
here.
we're not,
It's only
it's
civil
just a
war.
hypothetical.
Right.
It's only civil war.
I mean, we're not getting in fighter jets.
Even then,
You know, it's
for an effective civil war to happen, there would have to be a large element among the military that would have to defect.
Yeah.
And it would have to
Exactly.
be organized and stationary, meaning in a locale that is not spread out.
Yeah.
Because then it would create a base that it would spring from.
But I mean, look at these people that I hate to say Trump supporters, but like there's a lot of them that are just willing to do whatever.
If the military
drop
just
of a
started
hat.
randomly killing citizens, I think the
Not
citizens
a lot,
would have
but like
the-
if
There would be
there's a good
nothing
portion.
random about it.
Well, I'm saying right, not random.
They
right.
would love
I'm
to
saying,
shoot some liberals.
a politician
Was it you
randomly
today that
made a
posted the
decision,
fucking meme about the chicken sandwich?
To tell the military
You were like, the
start
Amazon's
killing-
burning, there's a fucking nuclear, like, holocaust happening in Russia or something, whatever the fuck it was, and you were like, and everybody's arguing about chicken sandwiches. You know what would happen? People would argue about chicken sandwiches.
That's all it is.
Until they were coming through the fucking door.
And then
Until
someone
they
will take
shut
their
down the
phone
internet.
out.
Yeah, someone take their phone out. Look what's happening to me.
Until it becomes
Stop.
China and they shut our internet down, and then
It's just that
everything
Brilliant.
starts going
Absolutely
down House
brilliant.
of Cards. You know?
What a brilliant totality. Go ahead.
It could happen.
yeah. No, by the time we discover that this country is a corporate police state, it will have been so for at least a decade.
Yep.
Anytime-
I think we're there now.
Well, here's the thing.
Will be.
Anytime you find out something Anytime you discover that the government is doing something or trying to do something,
It's been
wants to
doing
do
it a
something,
while, yeah.
been doing it for a while. What
Yeah.
are they doing that you don't know about? And
Right.
I mean, I know that borders on a lot of conspiracy theory stuff, but end of the day, it's proven itself.
Can I give Trump a little credit here?
No.
Sure.
If there's any, if there's
I'd like to
anybody
hear that.
who knows
Like, let's see how
how
this
to
goes.
distract you from what he's really doing, it's that fucking asshole. And every time somebody says he's stupid or an idiot, I'm like, not really.
Yeah, not really.
Not really. Like, he's an asshole, definitely. Stupid.
Narcissist, definitely.
He's just
Narcissist
a
for sure.
vaudevillian villain. That's all. He's just a
Yeah.
That's all he is. Like
He's like a
he knows how
mustache
to work
twirler.
a crowd, and that's all he gives a shit about.
See, I don't think he's stupid. I don't think he's intelligent either, though. He's like
100%.
very average.
It was
Smart enough to know what he
Very
wants, and
average.
that's where it
Yeah,
ends.
exactly.
It was pretty impressive when he wanted to build the tallest building in New York City as an individual owner.
He just tried to buy
interesting.
Greenland.
It's a good idea. I mean,
Greenland's full of ice. Iceland's
Go
full
ahead.
of green.
Nah, man, like, I work with a guy, fucking idiot. Tried to do a lot of things he was not capable of doing. But he was also a great cook.
So you all ate well?
I think the point here is that Trump is not a great cookie.
yeah, he's not a good cook either.
I'm saying, I mean, it depends on what cookie means in the
Everybody's good at
hypothetical.
something.
In the hypothetical,
Gotcha.
it's the narrative.
Yeah.
The narrative goes way back before us. Like not like Donald Trump's grandmother. I think his maternal grandmother. Her last name is Christ. Right?
That's what they
Christ, right?
say.
Christ means Messiah, and so does Jesus, Joshua, whatever the fuck. So basically, you have a man named Messiah, right? It's names. It matters more than I think people realize. Like Trump, like Christ means different things in different languages. Trump sounds very much like Trump, which means trick
Trump means fart
in
some
fucking
language.
French. And I think they built a narrative that got a little too, that went a little too far before people realized what was happening.
Including Trump himself.
Including maybe Trump
Trump
himself,
didn't
maybe
expect
Trump
the
himself.
No, he did not.
If you look at video of Trump
Yeah,
after he
he's-
won, he
it's-
looks like this.
Is there the Batman?
Very,
The
mono.
Batman. I'm too drunk to
Yeah,
do
and
it
I'm
myself.
I know a little
I've
hand
read,
on
I've read
myself.
like several
Oh,
books
Damien got me.
recently about the administration, and like basically by most accounts, oh that's awesome. Basically by most accounts, Trump and his wife and family, none of them thought they were going to win at all. Trump
Yeah.
believed that he was basically doing the best advertising for his business ever by running for president. Never occurred to him he'd win. And then that's what happened.
Well, that's how he always ran for president in the past. It always just increased his brand.
I want to say what's up to Angelo Gingerelli in the chat. What's up, Uncle Carl?
Hi, Angelo. How are you?
What did you guys think of the Baskets finale? I'm not sure everybody here saw it, but Sarah and I loved it. Trump always looks the same, like a pissed off version of the Quaker Oats guy.
Diabetes.
Look, I
Well,
think
he's certainly not very friendly. Quakers, friends.
boom, I got you.
Random edge.
We gotta cut to our
Dude,
first
when
fucking.
was the last time
Go
there was a
ahead.
Quaker joke on this show?
There was
I mean,
never
When
one.
was the first time? Right here.
Bingo.
Might have been
ding,
right now,
ding.
first and maybe last.
Maybe less. But
Last
we
time
don't
David
know.
was on.
Hopefully last.
Early in the
Quaker
evening.
jokes there's not much mileage on.
We're gonna go to our first piece of content. Let me tell you something. Tonight, our content consists of people who have performed on the show this season only. And I hope that you love it. I hope you turn it up. I hope you share the show tonight. And let's do this thing, Matt Lahosa. You let me know when we're out. You just let me know. You let me know when it's time to go. 'Cause I gotta piss like a.
My name is TM Stevens, and you're watching Awesome Talk. Don't you turn that channel and keep that funk alive.
Alright, this one's for Lil Omega. He loves this song. He couldn't be here. I'm gonna fuck this one up for sure, though. This is a new one. This is how we do it. Yeah, I got this. I'm the Harvey Dent of Trenton. Hit me, but you barely put a dent in. I send you to the dentist. My heart breaks, I mend it. Trenton makes the world's pretending. East Coast realism. Send my New Brunswick friends in. You get high, I've ascended. Give me a bond, I bend it. Give me a rule, I break it. The cycle's never ending. I rap tremendous. I rap condescending. I don't believe in the system, but I am the defendant. I want no detention. I get mad attention. An honorable mention. The point of mad contention. Iron Fist and Luke Cage. Heroes for the rentin'. Feeling friendless. High stakes. Fuck a friendship. DKFG, relentless and endless. Stand up against the tempest. My temper, I'm senseless. Nobody's on the guest list. I get shit, you're bested. I use no Smith & Wesson. Used to go to confession. Now I push it down like it was indigestion. The Catholic Church is evil, protecting priests molesting. I take no suggestions. I take indiscretions to the face and eat them.
Shit out raps from digestion.
My style's impressive. Your style's depressing. I always say fuck off, but this time I meant it. Trenton, I'm a resident. Chambersburg, I'm president. Fuck what you believe in and everything you represent. I am now exempt. You ask for strife, it's what you get. My evidence is heaven sent, but hell is where I'm headed next. Sisyphus, 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 666, Sisyphus, 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 Sisyphus. I did better than I thought I would do on that one, so that's a win. That's a win. Awesome talk. DKFG. Thank you guys for having me.
Because really, my song is about Agent Orange. And I've never performed this before. My friend from Italy, Big Tally, made the beat. And it just pulled this out of me. So it's called My Whole Life. Whenever the man with the plan over there is ready. Big Tally on the beat. Killer cows. Everybody got their own story, and this is mine. My whole life, I've been trying to take the right path, stepping over hypodermic needles and broken glass, looking back at my past and the mistakes I've made. It's death before dishonor, I'll take that to the grave. My whole life, I've been trying to take the right path, stepping over hypodermic needles and broken glass, looking back at my past and the mistakes I've made. It's death before dishonor, I'll take that to the grave. Willpower too strong to be a product of my environment. My father's still working way past the time of his retirement, but I'm tireless, trying to find an alternative solution. At age 23, I almost died from pollution, dioxin poisoning, aka Agent Orange, and the culprit suffers no consequence for all its carnage. There's alarming statistics. Never thought when I was young I would grow up to be sick. Lost parts of my left lung, and then the right one too, to stop them from collapsing. They eventually had to be fused. Dad was a soldier in the Vietnam War, drafted before age 21. He had a lot to endure. Boots on the ground, spent countless nights in the jungle. Every possession he had tied up in a bundle, not knowing if he would make it back home. It was kill or be killed. He took others' lives to save his own. My whole life, I've been trying to take the right path, stepping over hypodermic needles and broken glass, looking back at my past and the mistakes mistakes I've made. It's death before dishonor. I'll take that to the grave my whole life. I've been trying to take the right path, stepping over hypodermic needles and broken glass, looking back at my past and the mistakes I've made. So death before dishonor, I'll take that to the grave. To chemicals he was exposed while they lessened the vegetation. Now let's fast forward to my birth, my creation, and how unsure I was about an operating room becoming my final destination. It was frightening and painful, but I had to do it to survive. I remember the look he had staring in my father's eyes, and how he truly thought he'd unintentionally be the cause of my demise. Papa, I'm a fighter, that's what you raised me to be, and no matter what happens, they can never take that from me. So it'll be death before I ever dishonor your name. Sorry about the past and the mistakes that I've made. I'm the fire that still burns, the flicker in the flame. I'll always be a warrior, that'll never change. This is a burden I wouldn't ever want you to bear. So through this song I live on, so you know I'll always be there my whole life. I've been trying to take the right path, stepping over hypodermic needles and broken glass, looking back at my past and the mistakes I've made. So death before dishonor, I'll take that to the grave my whole life. I've been trying to take the right path, stepping over hypodermic needles and broken glass, looking back at my past and the mistakes I've made. It's death before dishonor, I'll take that to the grave. Now I've made some errors in judgment that I won't deny. Most of my friends fell victim to the prison system, and so did I. But I turned my life around, and Lord knows that I try. No more taking things for granted or letting opportunities pass by. Learn to lead by example and pay my debt to society. I just can't conform to the ignorance the rebel still lives inside of me. Took up activism, that's my voice against the system. Incorporated optimism and realism, just to try to keep a positive mind. Peace in this calamity isn't easy to find, and when I start stressing, I remember at least I'm still alive to say I'm pissed. So every time I throw up my fist, I represent truth, honor, and originality. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. If they ever challenge me, I'm Killer Cows. My whole life, I've been trying to take the right path, stepping over hypodermic needles and broken glass, looking back at my past and the mistakes I've made. It's death before dishonor, I'll take that to the grave. You're very welcome.
Awesome.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Agent Orange awareness. Google that.
We're walking around a park right now. Been here for, I don't know, about 30 minutes or so, and we haven't come across the lawnmower man. We've tried to ask people, but they keep thinking that we're referring to the horror movie. So they just kind of look at us and keep walking. I don't know what to do yet, but there are garbage cans that are missing garbage, and there's some that have garbage. This is us sleuthing the white trash way.
Yeah, we're fucking Batman. Decision now!
Sunny side.
Yes?
Chords all like,
Yep.
In late-stage capitalism, it's very easy to look out into this world and see a lot of bleakness. But we here at the Swagmatics want you to try your best to realize you have a whole life to live.
Out in the distance, on the horizon, I dreams of a better tomorrow. So maybe today may be cloudy and gray, and every hour is sorrow. Say it's alright, you gotta see the bigger picture. You gotta see the sunny side. It is alright. Let it ride. Down on the corner, under the street lamp, you stand with your hand in your pocket. The world is turning, everything's changing, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. City hits alright. You gotta see the bigger picture. You gotta see the sunny side.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, dude.
Hi, fans.
Can I just say something? My house is so much fucking cooler than your fucking house.
Yes, it is, bro.
Yeah. It just is.
Truth hurts.
So much gas inside now.
Thank you.
Night grows dark, it gets cold again. Sometimes I wonder where you've been. And even though I've heard all the reasons why, you'll always be that star in my sky. If these walls could talk, they try to forget the time they've spent hearing me lament 'Cause the pain I feel just can't be pushed aside. 'Cause you'll always be that star in my sky. Well, everyone I know says you did me wrong. Well, I never thought I'd have to sing this song. 'Cause we promised our love until the day we die. So you'll always be that star in my sky. But I'll stand alone, I'll look up above. I can only imagine what you're dreaming of. What did you really mean when you said we could try? Was that your gentle way to pass me by? 'Cause it feels just like a dream flowing through my mind. The spaces in between, connected by a line. When I look for you, it seems like I was never left behind. 'Cause in the corner of my eye, you'll always be that star in my sky.
Strong finish.
Thanks.
Damn.
Awesome talk.
Thank you so much, Keith.
7, episode 11.
Season 11, episode 7.
Season 11, episode 7.
It's 7-Eleven.
Thank you all. It's been a blast.
One more for me, and then it's bedtime. I'll be back in 3 years.
Less than that, ass.
A summer's evening, nervous moonlight, the taste of sadness and spice your skin. You seem so seductive in subtle persuasion to portray the martyr amongst lovers and friends. You said you missed your freedom. Oh, but were you ever truly free? Or do you miss it like a blind man misses seeing things he's never seen? You were found out and revealed as turned as a worthless traitor of the innocence that made you so unique. You said you missed your freedom from beneath the virtuous disguise. Or do you miss it like a stillborn misses breathing? Or like its mother misses its cry? You said you missed your freedom. Oh, but were you ever truly free? Or do you miss it like a blind man misses seeing things he's never seen?
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rick Barry.
Awesome talk.
Okay, my mind just went blank because I forgot it.
Sorry.
I'm known for my smile. It's my trademark, you see. For miles and miles, nothing but gums and teeth. Some see my smile and think I lived a life of ease. But see, I liken myself to Asbury Park. I liken the smile like Tilly's, carved out of hard-fought victories. See, from an early age, I was an anomaly. I didn't quite fit into my family. I knew that they loved me, but the depths of me, they just could not see. See, I felt like a glass vase in a room full of sledgehammers, everybody trying to take a crack at me. And see, this smile of mine brought shame to me. They called me clown, they put me down, and nicknamed me crybaby. It just wasn't anyone else like me. This joy that I had, this world couldn't perceive. It tried to deaden the light in me. See, before the age of 10, I could say me too. The pain and shame almost tore my soul in two, but see, my smile was unwavering, you see. Just like Tilly from my home city, see, I liken myself like Asbury Park. So many... Sorry, I'm emotional. It's been a while. I liken myself like Asbury Park. Born out of hypocrisies with deep-cut grooves that separate me from you. See, anyone who travels down these roads here may see that the road's not smooth, but a well-worth journey. See, nothing in my life ever came with ease. Death and loss hovered over me. See, I lost my dad, my cousin Nad, my uncles, my aunties. Death's hands even reached out and tried to grab hold of me. See, the doctors claim I shouldn't even give him a name. He'll be the end of you and he. But he stands here 16 years, the best part of me, the reason why I continue to stand in integrity even though it seems like the world is trying to test me. See, I liken myself like Asbury Park. So many lost in the streets. I liken myself like Asbury Park, like after Superstorm Sandy's and the rise of the 70s, there is no besting me. See, I was once depressed best, quickly went from fame to infamy, even had a senator after me. They referred to me as the candidate from the impoverished side of the city. They didn't understand that all 1.3 belongs to me. I'm the past, the present, and the future of AP. I was born and formed in a time when they called it Dark City. See, I liken that to me. See, I liken my smile like Tilly's. Anyone who knows the story of Tilly, how he sat high upon the city for nearly a century. Then they literally chiseled him out of adversities and put him up on a wonder bar for the world to see. See, I liken that to me. Now that I stand on the world stage, I give all glory to God and praise. I reach down and pull up my smile. That's my only true accolade. See, I'm known for my smile. It's my trademark, you see. For miles and miles, nothing but gums and teeth. Some see my smile and think I live a life of ease. But see, I liken my smile like Asbury Park. I liken my smile like Tilly's, carved out of hard-fought victories.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you.
Huh?
Temple.
Yeah?
We go way back.
What the fuck are the
High school.
chances, man?
High school. Both martial artists. He's, anyway.
No,
long
you're
story.
fine.
What style do you practice?
We're back.
A lot of different.
Awesome Talk, Season 11,
Yeah,
Episode
we'll
12, the
talk
season
after.
finale on August 27, 2019. Welcome back to the show. First off, I want to once again say thank you to our guests, Callan and Damien Wright, for being here tonight, man. This is such a great night, and we're just going to continue the conversation. Then we're going to cut to our next break, and when we come back, these guys are going to perform for us tonight. But we're also going to talk to them about what they have coming up and all that other good shit. Okay. All right? So, before we went on break, one of the conversations that was going on was about Dave Chappelle and how Vice put out an article that said he really ramped up on the misogyny and transphobia in the new Dave Chappelle. Don't even bother watching it.
Yeah,
that was the headline.
Don't make the opinion for yourself. Just listen to what we have to say.
Right.
Yeah,
I didn't. By the way, I didn't watch it yet. So, but I'm just saying, like, why even bother putting out a fucking article that says that? Take our advice.
Getting people, it's like trying to get people to not.
Yeah. By the way, Joe is in the chat. Madison is in the
Olkus.
chat. Richard Olkus is in the chat. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Cousin Joe?
Cousin Joe is in the chat, yeah. So, stand-up comedy is sort of under attack lately, I've noticed, obviously. And this is kind of thing we're talking about. Now, Dave Chappelle is not an idiotic person. He's intelligent. He's a brilliant
So you think this is part of a long game joke?
Oh, God, I wish. Like in another 20 years, he's like, psych!
No, where he's like, reflects back on the one immediately before this, where he's making fun of how easily comics get fucking torn down. Kind of makes sense in a storyline. Maybe there's a fucking punchline.
But can I say something else, though? It is kind of interesting to me
It's a social experiment.
how it's made some stand-up comedy... Some stand-up comedy can stick to the same subject matter that used to be offensive. But now it's done intelligently in a way where you can't attack it. Bill Burr doesn't really get attacked for anything he says. But he talks about women. He talks about men. He talks about... he talks about all kinds of people. But the way he approaches it, even though the jokes can be considered... I don't know what the word is, but offensive, I guess.
Misogynistic?
Maybe.
Rick,
But, yeah.
I've actually found the actual headline.
What's the headline? From Vice?
Vice.
Yeah.
You can definitely skip Dave Chappelle's new special, Sticks and Stones, and doubles down on misogyny and transphobia, both in the special and hidden bonus scene that follows.
Can I say something good about Dave Chappelle? Dave Chappelle did something that Mel Brooks and Richard Pryor were doing years before that.
Right.
Which is, he was pointing out, the funny things about all the different people in the world. Everybody could laugh about it, and everybody felt like friends when it happened. He put a positive light on all the things that make us different and the same. Right? So
Good luck selling Blazing Saddles these days.
Could you sell Blazing Saddles
No.
these days?
No.
Yes.
Do you think so?
100%.
Why?
I
How?
can't imagine what movie studio would take that risk. There would just be like,
There'd be
boycott
protests,
them, boycott all their
yeah.
shit. Like, I just don't see it.
Star power.
Bill Cosby would buy it and never release it.
The first time I'd seen that headline, it actually made me go, oh, I gotta go watch this.
Right, now I want to watch it, right?
It's going to be that effect for sure.
I mean,
yeah.
it's not like when the new Ghostbusters remake came out.
And can I say something to you, man? You know what I think about all the time, even when I'm completely sober, is that you saying that means that you're no longer liberal. You know that?
No.
Because you're willing to laugh and engage with something Dave Chappelle would say that would be considered misogynistic or transphobic. You no longer get to be part of that group.
What did he say?
Well, more so.
I don't know yet. And that interests me even more when I look at the article, because now, like, I'm excited to see it because I'm like, oh, you pissed some people off, right? So like Patrice O'Neal once said.
But in that breath, you're still giving the benefit of the doubt. I say it's a 50-50 flop either way.
You ever seen Dave Chappelle flop?
I mean, when he went nuts, he fucking certainly.
He didn't go nuts. That was a completely
awkward.
misdirected.
He was in a position to turn down $50 million.
Go ahead.
Can I just, real quick?
Hmm?
Dave Chappelle, right?
Right.
Comedy fans in a room. Genius?
Absolutely.
All right, pop music fans in a room. Stevie Wonder, genius?
Yeah.
All right. People, 1988, 1987, they're not really feeling characters. You know what I mean? He has skeletons in the closet that has like on the R&B charts or whatever. But in 2007, I'm listening to Stevie Wonder, I'm going fucking genius.
Yeah.
Whereas people who fucking came up with him are going, he's not as good as he was in the 70s, and what the fuck is, I just called to say I love you, and I just called to say, fucking play that song.
Yeah.
And tell me he's not fucking a few steps ahead of us. Dave Chappelle, we fucking, you know what I mean? His last two specials, we fucking licked his asshole.
Yeah.
Right.
And I watched one of them. I think it was the Bird Revelation.
Yeah.
Fucking tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think the fucking subject matter, if you really examine it, is much different than whatever the fuck they're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't fucking view anything as misogynist and blah, blah, blah. I go, it's content.
Comedy?
It's comedy and it's fucking content.
Right.
And it's just one of those things where I go, I haven't watched it yet, so I'm not going to fucking pass any fucking opinion on whatever.
But based on what you
been,
know.
He's been playing on that fucking line since the beginning of his career, since Chappelle's Show. Look at the fucking sketches he did in 2004
Yeah.
on fucking Comedy Central. And we're going to go, oh, he's ramping up this, he's ramping up that. He's fucking seeing the world as he always was.
Yeah, to be fair, I feel like the Chappelle Show pushed a hell of a lot more than his last special did. That people were like, "What the fuck? How can he be so anti this and anti?" And it was like, I feel like it was mild compared to like his sketches that were years ago.
Sure.
It's not that his comedy changed; it's that society changed.
And it did change.
Yeah.
Because I can hear a Dave Chappelle joke now and feel that like social pang immediately. Like a joke I've heard a million times. Like jokes like
Because
if I watch
you know
Blazing
it's not an
Saddles now, I'm like,
acceptable
like I physically have a reaction to
I
it.
watched it as a kid. I watched Blazing Saddles as a kid.
And
my
how
kid
did-
turned it on and I turned it off.
Wow.
And
wow.
So that was like
My nephew was fucking watched it one day. 9 years old.
Yeah.
my kid was 9 at the time too.
I was like, yo, what you doing, bro? I'm watching Blazing Saddles. I was like, fucking classic. I'm gonna go over here and kind of like, hope you think I care about it.
But why, right? So, Exennials, they say, are the most, one of the best generations because it's only within a few years, and we have insight into two different lives. We're half Gen X, we're half millennials, right?
Go us.
Now you grow up watching things like
That
Blazing
timing.
Saddles, right? You said you were 9, right?
It's rough.
Well,
I might have been.
Let me ask you a challenging question. What positive influence did Blazing Saddles have on you?
Mongo? Punching horses? It was funny. I don't like. I mean, honestly, I remember when I saw it, I was in a stage where I was really interested in the Old West. My aunt and my uncle had taken me to Wild West City, which, by the way, still looks the fucking same. Like all the dust is still there from back then. So, yeah, no. So I had a lot of. There was a lot of stuff that I was consuming at that time, that type of material. And so to see a comedy, but the Wild West, and Gene Wilder. I mean, like there's so much wonderful stuff going on in there that it was formative in my comedic sense back when I was discovering how jokes even worked at all.
I'm sorry, you said you saw it recently and you turned. Or was that recently, or was that?
My son was not. He's 10 now. My oldest son.
So it's recent, like within.
yeah.
Okay.
And he was watching it. Here's the thing, my oldest son is half black, so there's a lot of derogatory language aimed at black people there, and so right away I'm sitting there, I'm like, I just don't feel comfortable him sitting there watching that. You
Yeah.
know? And there's a lot of sensitivities involved there. I don't,
Sure.
You know, but it kind of shocked me because I think I might have even showed him where it was, and I had forgotten what it was like.
How it felt
But
to hear that.
That was part of it. It shows the ridiculousness of racism.
Bear in mind that it was
the
written
parody
by
of it.
Mel Brooks and
Yeah,
Richard
but-
Pryor.
Yeah, as in a piece of content is a piece of content. So if your opinion on what is, but I think I watched an interview once where Richard Pryor said that you'd be surprised that every seemingly racist black joke was written by him, and every seemingly whatever
Doesn't
white people,
surprise me.
as in it was reverse. Mel Brooks kind of wrote like he said, like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but like I think like everybody would be surprised, as in who. In other words, the stuff that you go, I don't want so and so to hear that because of whatever background you go.
Right.
That's the fucking most. That's the most genius man in an art form as a black man writing the jokes that you're. And again, I absolutely understand why people would get upset. But I'm just saying,
it's uncomfortable.
It's
for
it's
certain
a weird
situations. Probably it's like watching porn with your parents. You know.
So the
it's not gonna happen. You don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Generations on the chat.
It's gonna be a little awkward.
There were a lot of things in that time period that pushed those boundaries, like that, like all in the family.
Maud.
The things that came out of Archie Bunker's mouth.
Archie Bunker.
Really?
Yeah.
Right?
Rob Reiner
Look,
was always
Archie Buncher, Archie Bunker, and George Jefferson meeting and having that conversation on television is one of the greatest social moments of TV ever.
I think they knew it at the time too.
They did know it.
Rob Reiner's character would always be right behind him, like, "Hey, what?" Like you calling him out. They would like there would always be.
You still knew he was racist as fuck, though.
Right.
He wasn't changing nothing.
And that's what's brilliant about comedy. That's what makes Bill Burr so fucking great right now, dude.
The thing about comedy in today's society, though, is it's always had a version of this function, but now I feel like it's hyper focused. Where
it is everything's hyper focused.
Well, comedy has become the ultimate social commentary now.
Yeah.
Where it's always had that. There's always the truth that comedy can carry is what makes it funny. You know, it finds something that's real and shows it to you in not only stark relief but unimaginable detail, and you have to laugh at it.
God,
but
George
now,
Carlin was the best at that.
But oh God, yes. But now he was an atheist, so no God, yes. But the point being, the news is funny because of how stupid and unreliable it is, and you go to comedians for actual news,
for the truth,
for actual you're going to get the truth, and it's a bizarre turnover at this point now where comedians are a more reliable interface,
right?
And it's
look. That's the reason why Married with Children was what it was, because it was the truth. Yeah. It was what America really looked like.
Oh, yeah,
but you can't get away with it now because America doesn't want to see it.
You don't want to have non-stop fat jokes. You know, you don't
Hell
have,
no.
You know,
no ma'am.
That's why
no
South Park
ma'am.
is so
No ma'am.
successful, because they do a parody version of the actual what's going on right now.
South Park also does a good job of attacking both sides.
They don't really say
simultaneously.
what they're saying, but you know that's what they're saying.
Well, South Park does it because, and the only way it works now is when you go so far overboard, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you want to make those jokes, if you want to have that kind of content in your material, you have to go so far in that direction that it's just meaningless.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, people look at Family Guy and South Park and all that, and they can do basically whatever they want because it comes to a point where you just kind of look at it and go, it's only Family Guy. It's only, of course, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But
has it evolved, though? Have we, I feel like I've gotten to a point with South Park where I expect something out of it. Every time I go to an episode or go into a season, I want something deep out of South Park now. And if you've watched the last few seasons, South Park's writing in the last few seasons is the best you have ever seen, ever. It is total fucking comedic art.
Well, not only
Really?
that, but
Yes.
if you watch the first 10 seasons of South Park ever,
Yeah.
It's
Can I get out for a second?
like corny and funny, and like it's a lot of corny sort of jokes, but it's good, it's enjoyable. And if you watch the latest like 5 or maybe 10 seasons of South Park, I say and have said for years now that South Park is some of the best social commentary you can find on TV now.
Yeah.
They take issues that they did it, that their episode about mass shootings was so well done.
Discovered?
In the sense
Resolved?
that like
Yeah,
they
it's
really
resolved.
showed how
It's not a while
absurd
ago,
it
but I
is
wasn't sure.
that it's so normalized, and like they took that like to an extreme level, but the point is the commentary behind it, what they're saying behind it, if you are paying attention and not just fuck it, South Park's on, like, is really great. The writing is changed with the times in a necessary way. It's a good thing that they were signed on for like another 5 billion episodes.
It's again, they've taken it to that level, that extreme, and the problem is it sets a bar that's difficult to get to.
Well, if a new show came out that tried to do what they do, I don't think they would be allowed to get away with it the same way. The weird seniority that they have makes it allowed.
You know what show has been sort of getting it under the radar? The Orville.
I have to watch it.
The Orville has done, and it's funny because that show started off as ham-fisted humor and nonsense, and it turned into a serious show. I mean, there's actual plots and they're really good, but there's a number of ways that, especially in the first season, they address things like homosexual relationships, or things like interpersonal, like it's just all this stuff that if you go over the top with it, other people have done that already. But if you say it overtly, it's still going to come out bad. So they've found ways, because it's aliens now, so they can just sort of sneak it in.
Yeah.
So they've discussed racial issues and gender identity issues and things like that in ways that become a little more inventive. So people still can write their way into good comedy.
I think comedy should just be left alone at a certain point.
So then,
Like,
do you
if you
think
don't like
that?
it, just don't listen to it.
Do you think that right-wing comics are
It's like art.
actually comics?
If you don't like it, don't look at it.
To some people.
Sure.
Somebody's laughing.
Who do you mean, like?
Exactly.
Like
It's subjective.
Like who? I mean, you say right.
You know what's let me tell you something fucked up about that. I grew up listening to Nick DiPaolo and what's his name? Jim Norton.
Yeah, Jim Norton.
Miller.
I've seen Jim
Miller.
Dennis Miller.
Dennis Miller.
No,
Guys like that.
Dennis
And let me tell you something. When I was growing up, I never thought of them that way.
Right.
And then as the world changed, I started to think of them that way. And I still think that they also spit a lot of truth. I think they spit truth that a lot of people don't want to hear.
Well, they have to be funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. I'll watch stand-up comedy with my wife on a fairly weekly basis, just because you kind of get a dose of the truth a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's really, even if it's minor shit.
Yeah.
Kermit, guys in Kermit Apio, I think his name is. He was doing a bit on how when we were kids we used to make ashtrays for our parents in art class.
Oh, I saw it.
And
Brilliant.
how and that's the thing. I mean, it's true what he's talking about.
Yeah.
How society has changed. Now, the comedy is about how society has changed.
Dude, people don't know how much society has really changed. Like millennials come up and they again, I don't try to mock millennials or diminish anything that they think. But a lot of times,
because millennials got the shit end of every fucking stick, and they're
absolutely
just
they did, and they also have the heart to change the world, and they do that.
Here's a world that we lit on
here's
fire.
all the
Take
information
that.
in the world in your palm, and also everything
And
sucks.
parents that don't really want to pay
Sure.
attention to you because they have all this information now and they don't have to worry about
So
it.
I don't hate millennials. I don't.
They get an unbelievably large amount
You
of
don't
hate.
understand what the world was like once upon a time. You don't understand how fucked up a social norm is. To think something that isn't true. To receive something in a certain way. Or to live in a harder fucking world. You know what I mean? Like, if you try to tell them, for example, how popular it used to be to say certain derogatory terms, even as early as the 90s even, it's sort of
Late
hard
90s.
it's sort of hard to swallow. Like, it's hard to swallow. Like we watched Weird Science the other day, right? And I couldn't believe that they said faggot in that fucking movie like 3 times. And I was like, wow. Like, that's a word you would never fucking hear in a movie.
Nope. I know.
Ever these days.
It was
right?
Well, I don't know.
No, go ahead. Sure.
Unless it was to portray a character that was derogatory.
Of course, right.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like it depends. It all depends on how you're using it then, because most people didn't even use it for that reason.
Sure.
You're a fag for being an asshole.
But
or
now
whatever,
you
know
just
and
don't say it. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, as far as like language or whatever, what I'm saying is, I didn't fuck until I was 28 years old, right?
By choice?
No.
No.
Involuntary abstinence to the highest degree.
I have a word for
that. Yeah. And what I'm saying is everybody, they put things on the pictures on the screens there, and you go, oh, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? Here's a real thought, because I didn't do a fucking drug until I was 25 years old, okay? And here's a real thought, because I'll fucking go back and forth with you, systemic this, and Trump that, and fucking Benghazi, Bengay, whatever the fuck.
Arthritis.
And I'll fucking go back and forth with you. But here's a real thought I had. Watch. Remember when Kavanaugh, they said Kavanaugh, fucking
sure.
Blase Ford.
Yep.
All right, here's a real thought I had, right? Because she's going, I remember, you know, getting pushed down on the bed, sharp shooting pain. I never smoked weed, you know, up until the fucking last couple of years. I'm stoned in bed going, like, Brett Kavanaugh? Or, like, could it have been Brett the Hitman Hart? And he maybe had her in the sharpshooter, or whatever the fuck. This is a real thought I had as somebody who can go back and forth with you and pass himself as somebody who fucking gives a fuck. And what was I was smoking weed and fucking jerking off into tissues.
The tissues over the issues.
And that's what I'm saying, as in fucking legal age. I'm in my fucking late 20s. I can fucking vote. I can fucking whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? As in, I don't fucking mean to fucking trivialize or whatever. I'm just saying, like, on an individual basis. And I fucking totally agree. Like, with virtually everything, as in, it's really hard to tap into the thing that can make you go, this is what we need from whatever, as in, I'll fucking go back and forth. I'll say bipartisan. I'll fucking
back and forth, man. This is a synaptic labyrinth. This is amazing.
That's what I would name this
The
episode.
second person in 3 days who sat at this bar and talked about specifically jerking off into tissues.
And synaptic labyrinths.
And I've never been in a fucking Kleenex commercial.
Yet.
Sponsored by Kleenex.
Yeah.
Listen, this show is sponsored by Audible.
Yeah.
So, Kleenex
Who sneezes?
Is it time for a second break, Sarah?
Why are you asking me?
I don't think you're in, is it?
Is it time for a second break?
It's time for you to read the chat.
I'm gonna read the chat. Holy fuck, let me take a look. Because it gives a shit. Here we go. Damien, I can't read it. Help me the hell out.
Do I do it in voices? I don't.
Dave, what are you doing, Dave? Does it say, what are you doing?
I'm hoping he doesn't ruin my opinion of him. Saw him saying something against the Michael Jackson accuser. Mal Dave. Am I the only one that hasn't seen Blazing Saddles?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I can't get through
Team,
even
you
a
have
little
your
bit of
homework.
it.
I haven't seen the
Comedy
whole
is
thing.
very central to our
I've always
survival,
seen like
especially
parts
these
of it.
days.
I just don't think Mel Brooks is funny.
Damien raises a great point. Comedy's role has kind of changed. Look at how The Daily Show with Jon Stewart changed.
Wow, that's true. Changed a lot.
People would tune into The Daily Show instead of the evening news. Right?
Yeah, of course.
Or wait for SNL's weekend update. Haha, that escalated quickly.
When's the last time The Weeknd put out an album?
What's that last one?
Haha, that escalated quickly.
Yes, I guess it did.
Yes.
Always does.
Well, we're going to cut to a break. And when we come back, we are going to talk to Carl Callan. We're going to talk to Damien Wright. We're going to find out what they have going on. And we're going to get some performances here to close out the fucking season.
Dude, I've heard
What'd
a
you
bunch
say?
of
Just say
people
clouds
talk about
out?
the Michael
Clouds
Jackson.
The what?
The Michael Jackson accusers. accusers.
What about the Michael Jackson accusers?
Well, Hatim
I thought my
said
hearing
that-
went off for a second.
I think it was Hatim said that he thought he heard that Dave Chappelle had said something derogatory about the Michael Jackson accusers.
Right.
I don't know if that's true that he actually did or not, but I've heard so many people say derogatory things about the Michael Jackson.
Well, my other
accusers.
question is this: if Dave Chappelle did, so here's my thing about comedy.
Here's my thing. My thing is, let's just pretend that those accusers didn't exist. Can we talk about how not okay and how absolutely abnormal it is for a man in his 50s to be like, let's have sleepovers with all the neighborhood children? There is no fucking 50-year-old man on your block anywhere in the country that you'd be like, that's okay because he's a child at heart. Why the fuck was that
If
what
it
everyone
was, I'd
said?
keep away from my kids
Everyone
even
said
more.
that about Michael Jackson. He's around all these little... It's like, no, dude, you know what it means when you find parents of sick children, offer to pay their medical bills, and then want them to sleep with you? That's called grooming. It's called taking desperate people who are like, well, my kid might die if I don't have this. Like, that's sick, dude. And if all he ever did was sleep with them, it was still fucking sick. So, like, whether or not those accusers made anything up doesn't change the fact that the whole thing is twisted.
The guy's on so much medication, he probably couldn't do anything anyway.
I mean, that's not really the point of it.
Well, that conversation came full circle.
The leniency of people because they like
Yeah.
someone's music is startling.
Right.
Beyond, but it's insane. It's like the parent who are fucking telling their kids who are saying, "Oh, the priest molested me," to go beg forgiveness to the priest. Like these are real things that are happening because we allow people we fucking deify people to the point where they can't do anything wrong. That's why we have a fucking reality TV star for president.
Yeah,
she's not wrong.
Specifically for Michael Jackson, especially. You know, at least we can say like a song like "You Are Not Alone." At least we can go, well, at least R. Kelly wrote it.
At least there's that.
Yeah. Thanks, R. Kelly.
Silver linings played.
What's worse, sleeping in the same bed with a kid or pissing on him?
Oh, Dave Chappelle's moment of brilliance
Oh,
there.
Silver linings are made of cocaine, apparently. I don't...
What the fuck are we talking? Let's see.
they said R. Kelly,
Especially
so,
with
no.
money. Happens a lot. People turn the blind eye.
Can I just
quick.
bring up a
Yeah.
hypothetical real quick?
Sure.
To your point. If we could consider this hypothetical. Okay, Michael Jackson, hypothetically, never molested a kid. Do we or do we not have the saddest story ever told?
That's the bait.
If it's like the
No, yeah, that is true. It is the bait.
Because that's it, because there is some margin.
It's kind of
doubt.
fucked up when you think about it.
It is fucked up.
That's why nobody believes it, because it's like
Right.
so far.
Because let's say it isn't true. You have a dude who was raised into being famous against his will, basically, beaten into it, and then died ODing on drugs that he was prescribed
As an
accused
as
child
an adult
fucker.
After
in
he was
this
talking shit about
society,
Sony and all them
there's
other
certain
Right.
there's
Remember that?
certain boundaries that you know just instinctually that there is a reason you're not supposed to cross it, even if you don't
Right.
intend it. Let's say you see a kid just running in the playground, and you're like, I really want to hug that kid. What a nice kid. Not sexually, nothing. I mean, it is weird, but not like sexually
never
off.
had
Like,
that thought.
you know damn well you can't just fucking do it.
Right.
Like, as
You
a
don't know me,
grown
Damien.
man,
I walk
there's
up
a
to you and I
hell of
go,
a lot of
"Hey, can I
shit.
hug your son?"
There's a lot of boundaries that
No.
Michael Jackson
Hey.
crossed and had no problem crossing them because he was rich. And that's
Right.
fucking sick because he got away with it repeatedly forever to the
People
point where
pass
people
out when they see
rioted
him.
his court case. Like, it's crazy. And like, so even if he didn't molest anyone, yeah, his story's sad. He was abused, for most of his life and taken advantage of and blah, blah, blah. But also, he crossed lines that any adult knows you don't do that. You don't be like, hey kids, come sleep with me.
Yeah.
Like, you don't do
But
that. No
I think
adult
his level
that
of fame isolated him so much to the point where like
he didn't realize that wasn't right.
He needed I think he needed something that he couldn't have, and I think that money
Very
might have
obviously.
restricted him. If he was poor, he might not have fucked kids.
I mean, he
but the
named
fact
his
that
kid
he was
Blanket.
rich and he needed that in his world might be,
or whatever.
Which is disturbing.
Let's put it this way, dude. If someone Michael Jacksoned
Seems to be a
Michael
super rich
Jackson's
person problem to
kids,
be fucking
Michael
kids.
Jackson would have been really suspicious of why the fuck that dude wanted to sleep with his kids.
'Cause he knows
That's all
why.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, innocent or not, there's certain things you don't do because they look fucking guilty. Especially when it comes to
Look,
kids.
man, maybe Want to Be Starting Something is a good song, but Michael Jackson might just be an asshole.
Pretty young thing. Vaguely. No.
Dude, the amount of songs we listen to that are like from like the 40s to the 60s that are like so. And dude, like the amount of like 80s rock songs that are clearly about wanting to fuck teenage girls.
They're very clearly because she was just
unapologetically.
16.
Yeah,
Like,
dude,
what?
it's not even. It's not like a hint. It's like
not even a hint,
Like
it's
I
very
saw her
obvious.
driver's license.
But
and
that's
this
what I
is
mean
all
about a
shit.
social norm.
But that back
But
then.
that's the thing. That's why.
That's the
Legal
thing.
age
People
was
don't get
18.
like, hey, in the 80s,
Like, no,
when a
no.
teacher
It was
fucked a
innocent back
fucking
then.
high school student, people just
There's
went,
nothing there.
oh well.
Yeah, but 16 was legal age back then, so you could drink at 18. You know, like that kind of thing. It's all changed now.
It's
been
about
shifted
rocking
over,
the
like,
cradle
years
of love.
If nothing else.
Well, that's why they changed it, because it's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
They changed it to the Corvette of love.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the internet made us all realize how depraved humanity is. And the reason
I
why
think
comedy-
everyone kind of realizes
the
they're a
reason-
piece of
the-
shit
The
because
reason
of the
why
internet.
comedy had to change was because we realized how sick and
I
depraved
think I've been
we all
numbed by the internet.
A lot
Like
of us
nothing
are.
even just.
So we need
eh.
to stop.
You're
Like,
numb,
people
but
laugh. We need to have people stop laughing.
I'm sure a
at
lot of
me.
people aren't.
You're functioning numb.
Yeah.
Porn stars were born in the 2000s.
I think that was a more profound statement.
Yeah, they don't know nothing about
Let me
the
look up
towers.
this porn star, like, born 1985.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, let me look this girl up. Born 2001. Jesus.
And you're like, what was that, like 8 years ago? What
Yeah.
the fuck? And oh
So
shit,
look,
it was,
what I'm saying.
what the fuck?
Yep.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Then after the 90s, everything feels the same. Except for that new metal period. Right?
I would say
Bitch,
after
pussy
2000,
metal.
everything felt
I
the
agree
same.
with the people from the 80s calling it bitch pussy metal.
What about pussy metal?
I think the people from the 80s had it right when they were talking about the new age metal in the 90s being like, you know, bitch ass.
Everyone says that about every other one else's.
And by the way, every metal generation says about the next metal generation.
Yeah, this is the only metal.
Yeah,
that's
this
good.
guy, Slipknot's a bunch of they can't do it right. They're a bunch of pussy. Fuck off.
I think everybody's just upset the world didn't end in '99 or 2012.
You have no idea how many Coors Golds I drank that night.
Nobody knows what to do now. Well, now what?
Right.
The world didn't
The
end.
end of the
now
world was
what?
supposed to come, and now nobody knows what to do.
Yeah.
So everything stopped.
Maybe the world did stop, and this is the bullshit fucking afterlife.
Imagine that.
This
meteor
is the
did
moment
hit.
of death.
It's a
We're
psychological
living it.
effect. It's
That's a good movie.
It's like
right
walking
there.
through a door.
Have you guys? How familiar are you guys with the Legends of King Arthur? So Camelot,
Somewhat.
right? So Camelot was this one brief shining moment in history, and then it was gone, right? So then, however many hundreds of years later, everyone's trying to recreate that, never quite makes it, right? So if you look at history and you look at music, two wonderful examples. These are constantly people who are in scenarios where they're looking back at a past that didn't quite happen that way.
Yeah.
So the Camelot effect is literally like, make America great again.
Yeah.
Well, great like what?
Yeah.
It wasn't as great as you think, but looking back at it from where you're at, it was obviously greater because it has more luster. The past
Yeah.
is brighter. And so with music, you could be in an era right now where music is better than you could ever imagine, but you're gonna take it for granted. And then when it's gone for 10 years and this new shit's out, you're going to look back at all the other shit that you neglected and go, man, that was when music was fucking good.
That's when I felt good.
And
I
but
don't
the
know,
problem
man.
is,
I listen to
but
90s
did
music
you?
now, and I'm like, I don't feel good about it.
I don't feel good about it. Like, fuck this.
There's a lot of songs I feel about.
What do you mean, like 90s music? Like Glycerine?
It's just
Glycerine's one of my top 5.
I remember when I first heard that song.
I don't let a day go by.
I don't
What
remember any
what
days
were you
when I did
doing
anything.
when you first heard Glycerine?
I was sitting in my car with my girlfriend at the time. It
What
was
kind
on
of
the
car?
radio. God, what the hell was it called? It
What
was a
radio
Chev-
station?
It was a Chev 92.3. It
Yeah.
was a Chevy. It was this weird
Radio.
thing from the 80s
Radio.
that had bucket seats. Yeah, fucking radio, right?
I want to ask the chat if everyone remembers the first time they heard that song.
Well,
They
the
heard
reason I
Glycerine by
remember
Bush.
the reason I remember it is because that song "Come Down" was a Bush song that I liked a lot at the time, and
They had so many hits at that time. It
and
was weird.
Glycerine happened, and I had never heard it, and it just seemed a little different. And I was driving at the time to Friendlies,
God, I love that place.
and it just stuck in my mind. It stuck in my memory. It was 97, I think. Fuck, I don't
Jesus.
remember. Yeah, but whatever the fuck it was, I was driving, and I hadn't been driving for that long. And
Fuck the 90s.
That was during the era when you could actually there was a lot of bands that you could just put on a CD and actually listen to the whole thing.
I was
And
putting
pretty
on
much every
tapes.
song was good.
Do you see what you're doing right now?
Yeah, try to do that now.
No, you can't.
I was fighting Bowser. I think I was fighting Bowser in the original Sonic the Hedgehog when I heard fucking Glycerine, like 5 or 6 years old.
I was probably in school when I heard Bush.
I was
Like
18.
8th grade or something.
I heard an early release of The Perfect Drug. The DJ
18
had mentioned
now.
that
1997, if that was when it came out?
the DJ mentioned he shouldn't have played that he was going to get in trouble for it. But fuck it.
Be careful what you say on air; they might hunt him down.
Yeah, and murder him. Look, listen, we're going to cut to our next break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Carl Callan, see what he's got going on. We're going to talk to Damien Wright, see what he has going on. We are going to get performances from both, and we're going to close this epic season out. So hit like and share it and all that other good shit, and we'll be back in approximately 20 minutes, ready to roll.
Goodbye.
But I want to talk to Amazon Amanda about what's going on.
Yes, before the next
Let's talk
break.
about what's going on. Anybody's got questions for Amazon Amanda, or if you want to start the conversation, let's talk about your life and what you do.
You guys are awesome because I knew the last time I was on your podcast, which thank you, by the way. Some guy questioned my height, like, no chick's that tall. And he's not here, so I can't say fucker. So no, I'm just on my way. Tomorrow I head to Boston.
Okay.
I'll be in Boston, New York, Philly, New Orleans, stop to Jacksonville, back to Vegas.
Wow.
Wow.
And what should people hope for? Where should they find you?
Oh, you can find me at AmazonAmanda.com.
Okay.
Instagram, Amazon Amanda. Snapchat's fucked. They redid it in my catalog.
Okay.
So for you people asking me, no, I won't add you because I can't. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
So when you're traveling around, is there like events or?
No, what I do is I either in booking filming or I do sessions
Okay.
where I'll meet with people who have I'm a professional Amazon.
Yeah.
So Amazon by height, I'm 6'3", but I put on 6'9", 6-inch heels, so I'm 6'9". And that's why I had to come on because there's just something you don't get online.
Sure.
As you do when you open that door and it's that holy shit.
Can you stand up?
Yeah.
Right now? Pat, could you stand up?
Wait, do you want to put... I'm actually 6'3", too.
Okay, let's see
You
it.
want to put that in
Come on.
perspective?
Yeah, come on, bring it on.
Yeah.
So for you guys that say you never go with a tall
I'm a
guy.
6'3".
Wow. God damn.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, and then it's great because these little guys, I love you little guys. Because they gotta stay standing because they're like, well, what do you do? Okay, so I have a long jacket on. But because it's the ass.
Right.
When you go and it's like you bend over. So we're in a bar, but literally me in a bar is like this.
Right.
I've literally had people try and put their drink on my ass.
Jesus Christ.
Do they ask? They
That's
don't
way worse than that.
That's
So
terrible.
anyways, yeah, it's fun.
If somebody asked, could they?
Dude,
If they buy me a drink,
do people seriously accuse you of being photoshopped that often?
oh my gosh, I can show you my
That's
page.
psycho.
Yeah, just
It's
so you
like-
know, no, that's not photoshopped, homeboy.
It was like, you're not that tall. your ass isn't that big. You can't do that.
Do you think those are people just trying to get your attention for you, just to engage and talk back?
There's a point, but then it's the people that are like, there are no women taller than 5'7", so just like whatever.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's
I'm 6 foot, and I feel small right
Small.
I gotta be honest. It's like it's not. It's something different.
Yeah.
Do you mind being assaulted with boobs?
I don't mind.
I have to ask
Maybe
because it's
my girlfriend might. I don't know.
She might. Yeah.
Well, it's just to show how tall are you?
The Stones is good.
I'm 5'9".
Oh yes, I know. So you know when you come in, it's like the first thing you're in a bar.
Wait.
Have you dated a lot of people taller than you?
God, no.
Would you like to?
No.
Because I remember in an episode of The Golden Girls, Dorothy dates someone taller. She's like, with you, I don't have to wear flats. And I wondered if that was like a happy thing for very tall women.
Can you do that again? Can we do the hug one more time? Yes, there's so
I'm
upset by him.
Wait, you gotta go like this.
Stones, I've never seen you look so tiny.
That's hilarious.
I've never seen you look so small, Stones.
Jesus. Frankie V's very small. You're skinny, dude.
I'm tall.
She could pick you up.
She could pick me up. You could probably.
You think you're
Can
tall?
you try to pick
so
him up?
Stand next to her.
Pinch nerve.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I knew that already.
I have so I do lift and carry as well. But you fuckers lie about your weight just as much as any woman.
I forgot you did sumo.
I did sumo too.
Damn.
That was so interesting. That part was awesome. About do you do it anymore at all?
No, because I had a come to life moment in Taiwan. Because in America, okay, I love America, but there's no competition. I show up and it's like,
Yeah.
because the heavyweight is 176 pounds and everybody else.
Oh,
That's
quite
unfair.
Sumo's like sumo's like a big deal over there.
It's no
Oh,
contest.
it's huge. It's huge international, which is why when I go to the international level, okay, the U.S. has no coach. We have no trainer. We have no practice.
Jesus.
So would you just be laughed at because you're American and not Japanese, or
Because I was the U.S. heavyweight, I competed at the Worlds. And here, you have a little form, you have your ring, but you're actually doing it on a dojo. So it's like some serious pack shit with clay. And I thought it was a ballerina at 376 pounds. Your foot's stuck and your other one is swinging. I was winning, by the way. Until I proceeded to spin and my knee's like, fuck you.
it's sumo? The whole deal is just to get him out of the ring. Yeah.
Why did you get in? How
Knee
did you?
injury's the
Because
worst.
sumo, in America, it's not super popular. So,
No, not at all.
how did you come across it and were like, that's for me, I'm doing that?
So I'd actually been flown to Tokyo to film some fetish videos. So you get it beat up, lift, carry, sit on some other these little Japanese guys, and then the sponsor, my travel agent says, pretty much my interpreter.
Sorry.
because I
That's
couldn't
it.
speak
No
any.
more.
It's okay.
You're flagged.
He said, "Do you like sumo?" I'm like, "Never seen it," because it was like the grand tournament was going on. So I'm like, "Okay, but I don't go to stadiums because my ass does not fit in the seats." He goes, "No, it's different. It's different." And it is. There's like four little chair cushions and like a thing. And he's like, "You like?" I'm like, "I love this. Is awesome. This is the fat girl sport." I'm like, "We don't have it in America." Literally, by the time I landed in Idaho, I had the U.S. organization, I had the Idaho team, and I'm like,
Damn.
Awesome.
yeah, and like a month later, I'm like, oh, hey, the U.S. Open, which is like a huge international tournament. I was kind of cocky at the moment. I'm like, dude, I'm going. Amanda, it's an international tournament. You've never sumo. Don't go. Whatever, I'm going.
Damn.
Yeah, do it. Fuck
So
them.
I show up, and they have the practice in. There's like 7 women there, like doing their thing. Me and my cousin walked in. She's like 5'6". Nobody showed up the next day, except this little cute Mei-Ling chick who like just flew in from the airport. She's like 5'3", 90 pounds.
Oof.
Oh, no, I go, I'm going, no. So the director's like, you have experience, you have technique, you have talent. She wrapped herself around my thigh and would not move. So yeah, sumo's fun, but it's just a hobby.
Did you go through all the ceremonial stuff?
Yeah, you kind of get tossed into it with the whole, there's the whole the salt, the
Yeah.
stance, the squat.
How did you get into the other part of it?
To the fetish modeling part of it?
Yeah.
It's on accident.
Okay.
God bless the internet. So I had done mainstream modeling because I was like, yes. So I did mainstream modeling, but then they said I was too tall and I was too big. I was 14, 15 at the time. 6'2" and 260. And like, I realized at the age of 12, I had outgrown most of my male teachers.
Damn.
So it was kind of a power trip, but I didn't know how to interpret that power trip at that age. So the internet comes along, I'm having a major pity party. One of my friends online says, hey, there's this. I'm like, it's this site, Amazon's Arena. It was all tall women, 6'5" and above. Whatever, I have modeling experience. I can so do that. So I messaged the guy thinking, man, my agent just said I was too tall. But these were like 6'5", 6'6". So I messaged him and I said, hey, he goes, yeah, send me some pictures. And the next week, he goes, we need to talk as soon as possible. So the next week, I had my Yahoo group, Age of Yahoo groups.
Damn.
And then the next month, I'm telling my mom, I'm flying to Vegas to shoot with a guy from the internet that had just started.
Guy from the internet is red flag.
Right, and then the next month, my site was up, and 3 months later, I'm in Tokyo.
Jesus.
Wow.
Okay, I have one more thing I want to ask you.
Okay.
Before we cut to our break.
I got a question.
Okay, yeah, no, you go first then.
I got one.
What was the Tosh.0 experience like?
Usually the first question is he gay? And I'm like, wasn't one of the questions I asked. It was really fun.
What was your impression?
Like, was he nice to you? Was he a dick?
Did he offend you?
Sometimes he comes off like a dick.
Yeah.
You know?
He was professionally a dick.
Okay.
It was the whole thing where I just got out of the shower. I'm like, okay, it's a production. We're going to have hair and makeup. It'll be fine. I get there. It's like, great, you can change in there. We're filming in 10.
Damn. Yeah.
I came with naturally curly, frizzy hair, no makeup. Don't tell a woman you have 10 minutes to be camera ready for national TV.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. But no, he was really cool. It's like a couple segments. But they cut out, I think, about 3. And then the car that was actually me driving was 6-inch wheels. So so you've seen a smart car because they haven't seen the episode. And I'm driving 6-inch wheels in the driver's side. He's in the passenger. How do you start it? Like there's no ignition. And he's like, I think it's right there. Mind you, I am spilling over the seat. My thigh is in the passenger seat. So here he is like trying to push my thigh and goes, push the button. Just push the button. We're doing like and then we drove off.
Did they ever call you back for one of those web redemption things that they used to do?
I would do it. No, not the web redemption.
You know, when they just bring the guests back.
Yeah.
The reunion or whatever.
And I saw
they do.
residuals from it, so I'm like...
Yeah, man.
That was my next question.
Yeah, I did wonder. We talked about that.
Some of those places, they make you sign, you get nothing.
To get paid to do that kind of...
I got paid, and then I get residuals from it.
Wow.
So I'm like...
Good for you,
awesome.
man.
But it's funny because mostly the East Coast, like, it'll show. I think it just showed again recently. My friend's like, fuck you, you're on TV.
I think I've seen them even share it on like the Facebook thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, that was another one. That was for a Barcroft interview I did.
Well, Tosh.0 was sharing something with you.
And it's like, but that we filmed like 4 years ago, and it was on just YouTube. Barcroft's YouTube. But then they sold it to their Extreme Love Facebook.
Right.
Then that got too many hits. They're like, well, we just sold it to WeTV. So I'm like,
damn, man.
So you have no control over that, right?
My
you signed that away?
My mother the other day texted me to say that I think one of your upcoming guests on Awesome Talk, I just saw a commercial on WeTV with her. And I was like, oh, I didn't know she was on WeTV.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, like, I love WeTV for all the trashy sitcoms. You know, it's the Bridezillas, it's Love After Lockup, and now Amazon a Man. I'm like, that's what I was going for. But yeah, that's it.
What did you want to ask, Stones? You said a question.
In the private sessions, do you have a whole like waiver form set up for you?
You know, I did, but it's like
not
I
anymore.
have after my lawyer's like, dude, it doesn't stand up.
Oh shit!
So it's
Damn.
like,
Okay, next question. Have you heard anybody like
a broken nose.
And
Okay.
Did that end in a lawsuit, or he was cool by it?
No,
or
that
they
was
were
like,
cool
oh my
by
god,
it?
that's so hot. Can you do it again?
Oh.
Are you drowning? What happened?
That is awesome. That is fucking awesome. Shit.
Yeah, it's like I'm getting black eyes, broken
Not as
noses.
awesome as
Damn.
a guy with like
balloons, animals, and everything.
It's a fetish. Just like the ball you were mentioning, they like made a run for it. I've stepped on balls too.
Oh. See, they shouldn't just be hanging out there. What? They shouldn't just be hanging out there. See?
What happens there? I don't want to find out. Never mind. I don't want to know.
We have
Keith is in the chat. Amazon could lift the other girl.
They're obsessed with girl on.
Yeah, Tamara loves Amazon. Amanda's amazing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say,
I have
Rick
to
and
get
I
off for a
have a
second.
friend who's in like the adult industry, and we've heard so many awful horror stories about like restraining orders and stalkers, like awful,
like to see my social media
like
pages?
she's been like physically attacked before, and like
What?
they've gone after her family, and she's had to like change her like personal like name she was born with and stuff to privatize her family life. And I just wonder, like, how has it ever gotten, because people become obsessive, so like where's the line? Like, has anyone crossed the line and like gotten into your personal life,
Like found your house
and,
or something like that, or
Yes.
yeah. Oh yeah, really?
Well, it's also to the point where, because I did sumo, I mean, my real name is Amanda. It was at that time of age where it's like, dude, if I'm gonna do this, people are gonna fucking know who I am. Not this.
Imagine if her real name was Amazon.
Yeah,
that would be a weird discern.
Well, luckily Amanda's a common name, so.
You know, what's this typical stripper name? Manda, Mandy. Yeah. No, but it's like you get a lot of guys that do get obsessive. It's like, oh, but for the most part, it's like they're never gonna leave their grandmother's basement room. You can tell the creeper types.
Yeah.
You know, I've been really fortunate. Most of the guys I've met, I mean, I'm good friends with several of them. I still want to kill them most of the time, but I still.
And you could, so like that's really.
So you know.
Well, that's also the, like, I have friends who are like 5'5" dominatrixes. Like, I have to screen. I mean, rightfully so, they need to screen more. But it's like a guy that comes in. My typical client's 5'4", just like 5'4" to 5'8". They're gonna look at me and go,
Have you ever had a little person for real?
Like
5'6" was the shortest, and that was a little person.
Oh, come on, really?
But actually, I have friends, but they kind of scare me because when I'm in heels, they're literally knee high. Have you seen the picture with me?
They just gotta be like cats to get the fuck out.
You met Vern Troyer?
Yeah. It's like he was actually scared of me and would not let me pick him up or come within like a foot of him.
Really?
That's crazy.
For real?
Because he's like, dude, no.
That's crazy. Yeah, I saw a picture the other day. The top of the picture was, they were both a picture of a hallway, and it was like, what short girls see, and the bottom picture was like, what tall girls see when they look down the same hallway, and I was like, I never thought of that. Like, that's what tall people see all the time? Like, holy shit. It really blew my mind.
It's great. My short friends, like when we go out, and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna stay put because they'll find me. They're like, I found you. Like, 5'3". You're like, so yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
You have what I would call a winning attitude. In other words, when somebody tells you you can't do something,
Fuck you.
you go fuck you and you dominate it. And there are several people in the world that I follow, for better or for worse, who do that. Joe Rogan's that kind of guy.
Love him.
Gary Vee's that kind of guy. Tony Robbins, love him or hate him, he's the type of dude where he goes, yeah, tell me I can't do something. And he goes ahead and does it huge right in front of your fucking face. So, for you, they told you you couldn't sumo wrestle, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, you weren't set for this. What do you have to say about that?
Look at me now.
Yeah.
The funny part is I actually did see my original modeling agent when, I was 16, 6'2", 260. I was like, lose 40 pounds.
Ooh.
You know, it's the, I'm like, okay, when you're going modeling and you're lying to the agents about, she's 6 foot, I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
She's a size 18, I was at 24. But they'll love your personality.
Yeah.
When's the last time you ever saw?
That's how the modeling business works. It's all about personality.
Yeah.
Every little thing. Nothing else.
So in this game, it's like, dude, I can be myself, like full on. Like, I mean, because I do tower over people every day. I'm bigger than everybody, so it's why not make it to the bank and like be on Richard Simmons' couch? Oh my god!
That's true.
Yeah.
So, where can people... should we give her a final word now, or...
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so
Because after the break, we're gonna come back.
when we come back from the break, the next break, which is much shorter than the first one, Frankie V is going to perform tonight.
Yeah.
So normally what we do is
he knows it already. Raise the roof
gonna be
before
good
the
as
roof
fuck,
raises
dude.
you.
So we know.
Thank you. Thank you.
We set our
we wake up.
Sorry. We
gonna raise you first.
we reserve something for our guests called the final word. In other words, if you had a message to send out to the whole world right now, and this was your last chance,
So much pressure, dude.
what would it be?
There's so much pressure.
What would it be?
Have no regrets.
There's no medicine for it. There's no medicine.
I'm thinking about his
No regrets. And where can people find you online?
AmazonAmanda.com.
All right.
Or World of Amazons with my tall chick friends.
World, we had so much fun that I feel like I'm getting old. Like I can't even keep up with the fun no more. But I'm gonna tell you straight, we got our rest. We did a podcast this morning, killing it, enjoying ourselves, loving life, and that's what it's about. Beautiful people out there, just love us and love the world. Yeah.
Or at least hate hard.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Awesome Talk Season 11, Episode 12, the season finale. Tonight, we have two special guests for you. First one I would like to talk to is Mr. Callan. If you would come over here, please. Oh, yes. So, first things first. What do you want to promote? What's going on in your life right now? Where can people find you and all that other good stuff?
I'm on Facebook as Call C. Callan. I'm on SoundCloud, Carney Commission. If you go on the cloud. A local comedian named Jacinda is having me on a show on September 19th, I believe. I believe that's the next time I'm gonna. And I have hopes, nothing set in stone, but to have some kind of Halloween show where my ghost is gonna host.
And where can people find you online? Where's the best place?
Probably Facebook. My nephew throws me on Instagram every once in a while. The name is, he's a fucking goofball. He thinks he's smart. It's I can't Hegel in these pants. Because according to that fucking numbskull, the name, George Wilhelm fucking whatever the fuck, Hegel, sounds like almost like a dance you would do. And he can't dance when his pants are too tight. So the Instagram is I can't Hegel in these pants. Immanuel Kant. Whatever the fuck. So that's, yeah. Facebook, call C. Callan, though, if you fucking have any interest in this here.
Carl, I want to thank you for participating in tonight's season finale.
Thank you.
And so we do this other thing called the final word for guests, where if right now we put you on the spot and you had a message for the whole world, and this was your last chance, what would it be?
A message for the whole world? I would say probably Prince's 4 pillars of being an artist, which I think can apply to anybody in any of their pursuits. And I only remember a couple of them. But break the rules and don't fucking forget where you come from. Rest in peace to Prince. It broke my heart when he died. But don't forget where you come from, I would say. Message to the world. I don't think you can fucking go wrong. You don't necessarily die happy. Like, in other words, I don't have much of an attention span. I've been stuck into the fucking, I don't have much of an attention span, you know? I wouldn't fucking pay attention to my soulmate's dying words. But if something popped up on YouTube that said Prince said whatever the fuck, I'll remember half of it. Don't forget where you come from and break the rules. And also, Rick, thank you, and Sarah and Damien, everybody who's here, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Carl. Damien, if you come up here. So, Damien, what is going on in your world right now? What are the things that you'd like to talk about, the things you'd like to promote?
Well, promote. So, my name is Damien Wright. I own a martial arts school, Right Fight Concepts, in New Egypt. Anyone who wants to come down to Right Near Great Adventure and learn how to simulate murder, you can find me there. It's facebook.com/rightfight, right with the W. That's kind of the big thing I have going on. I have 3 kids, all boys, so my house stinks. And we just got a dog, so it stinks like shit. Because the dog's a puppy and we're housebreaking her and my 2-year-old. It's a real weird time. But that's kind of all I've got going on, really. There's always so much going on when you're a parent, you know. I don't know. I don't know how many people know, but whatever. That's what I got going on. So, I used to, well, off and on, I hesitate to say I used to play in band Demiurge, because there's always chances we get together, we still talk about our music and recording various things. But I used to be the lead singer of Demiurge. We've toured with Twine, various other bands as well. So Rick talked me into coming in to sing, but my guitar player couldn't make it. So I have to modify what I'm going to be singing. And so my hobby is I am a medieval reenactor. So part of what we do, other than fighting, because even in my hobby I fight. I don't know. I just went on a fighting vacation, and yeah, it wasn't relaxing. Everyone's like, "Did you relax?" I'm fucking relax. I'm wearing armor. But one of the things that they do a lot in the hobby is they sing. And there's bards and bardic circles, and they have funny songs, sad songs. Most people are drinking, so you know, if you drink till I'm good, that's great. But it's a very large fixture of the hobby. So there's a number of songs I've picked up over the years. Some are period authentic, some are pseudo period, some are written in the hobby by people in the hobby. By the way, if you wanted to look this up, it's Kingdom of Acre, or ACRE, or Acre, kingdomofacre.org. That's the organization I'm involved in, medieval scenarios and recreations. There's also Society for Creative Anachronisms, SCA.org. These are all, if you're ever interested in a very interesting hobby, that would be the place to start. But there's a rich tradition in the hobby of people writing songs specifically tailored to, you know, because they're not in the period language, because we don't really understand that anymore, you know. Right. But it would be in a modern linguistic sense, but the term anachronism applies. So it's less reenacting the actual time and more recreating it for the purposes of expressing yourself in that vein. And like any good hobby or any good piece of art, the better you can express yourself. And you might do it with different names, different styles of dress, different personas of different historical periods, and they may change depending on where your interests are. But at the end of the day, it's another form of art. So that is something I'm involved in as well. I do that with fair regularity, go to an event a month about, again, there's fighting, singing, dancing, brewing, all this other stuff. So it's a little all over the place, just like previous guests. So I guess all good things. So
let me ask you something. If you had a final message to the whole world right now, you had to give it right now, what would it be?
Take nothing for granted. Not one thing. It's so easy for any of us to let life pass in front of us, and something I've learned particularly by being a parent, but through various other misadventures as well, is every moment is sacred and every moment is unique and it never comes again. And the best thing you can do in your life, and the scariest thing you can do in your life, is try to hold on to each one of them and live in that moment. Because when you don't take it for granted, you also realize how fragile moments are, and how fragile company is, and how temporary everything is, and you can very easily led into pessimism. But still, it's worth it to try. So take nothing for granted would be my message.
And one more time, where can people find you online?
Facebook.com/rightfight, WRIGHTFIGHT, or rightfight.com. That would be the best place to find me. If you happen to find my personal Facebook, I post lots of fucking memes. If you post anything political on my memes, I will immediately block you. So, if we become Facebook friends, strap in and enjoy the ride. That's all I got.
Good policy.
So, I posted it several times, so in any event, I'll probably post a ton of memes when I leave here.
And you're going to sing tonight.
I will. I will
All
sing
right.
tonight.
But first, I'm going to welcome our good friend Carl Callan to the microphone, please.
Woo! Yeah.
What am I doing here, Rick? Am I speaking on perspective? Which is basically the root of everything, right? Like, I didn't know what a period was when I was a kid, right? And one time when I was a little kid, I was like 9, 10, I'm spying on my sister and one of her friends because I had a crush on a friend, you know? I was hoping I would see a nip or something. You know, I'm eavesdropping a little bit, right? My sister comes into the room and they're doing a fucking dance. Thank God I got my period. Thank God I got my period. Right? So you can imagine perspective-wise when I'm in school and a girl's blaming her fucking bad mood on having a period. I said, cheer the fuck up. My sister loves getting her period. What the fuck is going on here? I'm belligerent drunk right now, right? When I get belligerent drunk, I have weird ideas. Like, I'll be down in AC with the whole crew, and I'll go, let me fucking reverse gender stereotypes. I say, fuck it, let me reverse gender stereotypes right now, right? Because my homegirl, Tammy, right? Platonic. She had broken up with her boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. She'd been single for a while, and she's talking during dinner like, I haven't really fucking gotten laid, blah, blah, blah. You're in the same situation, what do? You cop your homeboy a blowjob, right? You know what I mean? You put some money out, you fucking cop your you cop your boy a blowjob, right? So I go, why can't I get my fucking platonic friend Tammy's pussy eaten for a fee? To think otherwise would be potentially gender whatever the fuck. So as I'm telling my friend J-Bo about what I'm going to do, fucking guy leans over and goes, hey, I'm a master pussy eater. Talk about fucking serendipitous. You know, so Tammy goes up into the room with him for like 15, 20 minutes. Comes down not too happy. She's going, he was no good at all. He couldn't even find my fucking clitoris. Now, I gave him $1,100 up front for being a master pussy eater, right? On top of that, it's my best friend Cal's money. He'd been winning in fucking slots or whatever. He gave me his money. He said, hold on to this for me or whatever. So he fucking finds out that I paid this fucking guy $1,100 to fucking eat Tammy's fucking pussy and that he's no good. He goes, why the fuck would you do that? How could you fucking mess? And I said, Cal, what the fuck is a master pussy eater? Something so unique couldn't be a fucking fabrication. You know, because he was winning in fucking craps and whatever the fuck. And I said, I'm fucking sorry. I'm fucking saying, let me pay some money to get fucking Tammy's pussy eaten. A fucking guy leans over and goes, I'm master pussy eater. I've never heard that before in my life. I said, it can't fucking be a fucking lie. And what am I, a fucking sexist? He goes, why would you pay $1,100? I said, it actually was $2,200. Anyway, the guy fucking took off with our fucking money. Anyway, the guy who I was talking to, though, right? My friend J-Bo. Short for Jeremy Boho. We used to call him J-Bo. And look, I'm not saying he's a fucking enabler. I'm just saying, like, he turned Ass Eaters Anonymous, like, into a salad bar. Like, if you want to get fucked up, you go see my friend J-Bo, right? Like, this is a true story, right? My friend J-Bo, like, he buys prescriptions. Okay, like Adderall and whatever. And I don't really like what... Like, in other words, what's the fucking colloquial fucking perspective on Adderall? Oh, it's a fucking meth for kids. You know, it's either meth for kids or a fucking miracle drug. I'm on the fence. Anyway, I'm really careful with the shit, right? So my friend J-Bo throws me like 3 or 4, right? Because I'm very careful with the shit because I don't want to become a fiend. I don't want to be tempted into those fucking dark roads. So I only get 3 or 4 every once in a while at a discount or whatever, right? So one day, about a year and a half ago, my friend J-Bo calls me up and goes, look, a guy flaked on me. I got fucking 10 Adderall. Do you want them? I said, sure. I go and grabbed them from him, right? And it pops into my head that I had been flaking on my LDS friends. You guys familiar with the Mormons? Yes. They reached out to me on Facebook, and so I started to meet them a little bit and blah, blah, blah. At one point, I fucking said I would convert if they could beat me in horse. Long story short, I was up HORS before you could even fucking blink. Because there's a couple things in life I'm fucking confident in, right? My baked ziti and my jump shot. I wasn't gonna fucking convert. I knew it. And God bless that fucking missionary. He put up quite a fucking... Anyway, I'm fucking like, you know, I'm on and off friends with the fucking Mormons, right? And I realize I'm in a good fucking mood. My friend J-Bo's got fucking 10 Adderall. I go and grab them from him. And I realize I hadn't seen my fucking Mormon friends in fucking forever, right? So I fucking text them. I go, you guys want to fucking get together? I'll fucking take you to get McDonald's. Whatever, right? So I pick them up. And now I got the 10 Adderall on me. We go to McDonald's, blah, blah, blah. I pull out of the fucking plaza. Fucking, I don't know what the fuck I did, but the cop pulls us over, right? And I turn to my Mormon missionary friends and I say, you know, you remember when you guys told me when we first met that if there was anything you could do to help me in any way, that you would fucking do it, no questions asked. So I said, fellas, would you mind splitting these 10 Adderall pills with me? Because the police are on their way over to the car. So anyway, we split the fucking 10 Adderall, right? 3.5, and 3. Me and the 2 Mormon missionary elders. Long story short, we converted 83 people in 3 days. Which, if you really break down the mathematics, which my man Tadpole, salute for Tadpole for fucking bringing me out here. And thank you for Rick for having me. But, like, if you really fucking go by density-wise and fucking whatever, we have fucking Parley Parker Pratt beat by a lot. 83 people in 3 days in modern America with the perspectives on Mormons is one of the most impressive feats to ever fucking be done. And I think as a society, we need to laugh. Right? People are fucking goofy. Like, I fucking, right, belligerent drunk in the city one night, right? And I trip over this homeless guy was playing a fucking violin on the sidewalk, right? I'm fucking belligerent drunk. I knock over his fucking violin stand. Right? A homeless man looks at me and goes, bro, don't worry about it. My homeowners will cover it. This is a man living on the street who fucking had a fucking sense of humor. God bless him. I was talking to a little Jewish lady online at the supermarket, right? And I'm asking her about Jewish delicacies. I'm going like, how much does a loaf of challah bread cost? How much does a loaf of challah cost? How much does a loaf of challah cost? I'm sure, you know, she was hard of hearing. And the fucking guy working the register goes, do you realize that you're yelling down at a little Jewish lady? Yelling Holocaust in public? Anyway, shout out to Vin Brew. Shout out to Angelo Gingerelli. Kyle Groom. Tadpole Triplet again. Matt Nascimento. All of my local comedy friends, right? Because I had a big blowout with my people up in Kearney. I said, suck a fucking dick and die. And I fucking left there and I came down to do fucking dishes. I fucking gave up a whole season's pay up in Kearney. And I did fucking dishes at a bakery for many fucking, months until they said, why don't you try stand-up comedy? So I went to the home of original music, Brighton Bar, and I started doing comedy. And they let me do a roast there. And many of my friends came out. Angelo Gingerelli, Matt Nascimento, Kyle Groom, Donna Lloyd, Little Atlee. All of my fucking friends. Brian St. John. Andy Bustamante. Andy Bustamante said and made a fucking joke about my fucking forehead being big. I fucking fell off my chair fucking laughing. Brian St. John. Ziggy Bryson. And many others. Can I tell you guys one more joke before I go?
Yes.
Just one more. Just one more. All right. Are you guys familiar with dendrophilia?
Of course.
All right, so that's somebody who has sex with trees, right? Yeah. All right, so one of my fucking niece's friends come over one day, right? And they're talking about dendrophilia. I said, Jesus fucking Christ, I know dendrophilia, right? Like, because one of my sisters is a dendrophile. And a fucking kid, because this is Generation Z. You're talking about millennials, Generation Z. This is how fucking rude these fucking goofy kids are these days. They'll come into your own house and tell you that your sister's not a dendrophile. He's going, you didn't fucking know that until I told you just now. You're not your sister's not a dendrophile. Fucking, you didn't even know it was sex with trees until I just told you. I said, look, pal. I said, nobody comes into my house and fucking talks to me disrespectful. I said, you can make like a tree and fuck my sister. Angelo Gingerelli, fucking Brian St. John, Vin Brew, Waldo Maldo, my best friend, Waldo Maldonado. If anybody's watching, please look up my friends. Very funny people. They came out and roasted me on August 8th, and we're hoping to do a Halloween show sometime in October, somewhere on the Jersey Shore. Hopefully, of course, at my home away from home, Brighton Bar. Technically, I'm dead, and this is my ghost saying thank you guys so much for having me, and I look forward to watching Damien's performance. Thank you, guys.
Woo! Thank you. That was awesome, man. Thank you so much, dude. That's fucking great. And thank you so much for being here tonight, dude. For our season 11 finale, dude. We love you. Thank you. Damien?
All right. So the first song I'll do, so I have two that I can do at this point.
Get closer to the mic.
Okay. I'm closer.
Yes.
Well, you know my voice, so I don't want to, in any event, the first song I'm going to sing is actually from Game of Thrones. Anyone who's seen Season 8, one of the few wonderful things about it was some of the music writing. So this song stuck in my head, and I'm going to get it stuck in yours. So here's hoping.
High in the halls of the kings who are gone, Jenny would dance with her ghosts, the one she lost and the one she had found, the ones who had loved her the most. The ones who've been gone for so very long, she couldn't remember their names. They spun her round on the damp old stone, spun away all her sorrow and pain. But she never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave. She danced through the day and into the night, through the snow that swept through the hall, through winter and summer and winter again, till the walls did crumble and fall. But she never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave. High in the halls of the kings who are gone, Jenny would dance with her ghosts, the one she'd lost and the one she had found, and the ones who'd loved her the most.
Woo!
Damn. Huh? So the next song's a funny one. This is a song that was, to my knowledge, written in the hobby of medieval reenacting, and it's got some double entendres and your name, and it's got Rick's name in it. So I'm gonna go with that. It's called The Three Princesses. So it's a little anachronistic, but we're gonna have fun. All right. Let's see. There once were princesses three, purity, virtue, chastity, purity, chastity, purity, chastity, purity, and virtue. But their names did not agree with the lusty nature of the three. Their father would not trust to luck in warding off a royal fa la 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 la. So he girded on his daughters three belts to ensure virginity, and on each belt was placed a lock with a blade to chop an intruder's deedle-dum, deedle-dee, deedle-dum, deedle-dee, deedle-dum, no dummy he. Their father went to war, leaving purity, chastity, purity, chastity, purity, and virtue. The king returned from years at war, summoned up his knights all 70, and ordered them to drop their pants to see if each still had his lance. Sing hey nonny nonny no. The king could not believe his eyes. Not one knight retained his prize, save for the brave and true Sir Rick, the only knight who had his derry down, derry down, derry down, derry down, derry down, hang derry, derry down. The king said, Sir Rick, since you have been true, I'll give my kingdom half to you, and one daughter to be wed. What say you, Rick? And Sir Rick said, So that's 2 songs. You got time for more? Or that was the funny one. So
Can we do one more? Can we do one more? Are we on board for one more?
All right. So I'm Irish. So most of the songs I know are sad. So I'll try to sing one of the. Well, do you want a sad but somewhat inspiring Irish song, or do you want another song written in the medievalist hobby?
So I'm Irish. Let's do something different.
All right. Anyone ever heard the Minstrel Boy?
I don't know.
All right, the Minstrel Boy. It's an Irish song. It's not medieval. However, it has a medieval feel to it. But the fun trivia fact is it was actually sung by the Irish 69th Brigade in the Union Army, and you'll understand why later. So. The minstrel boy to the war is gone, in the ranks of death you will find him. His father's sword he hath girded on, and his wild harp slung behind him. Land of song, said the warrior bard, though all the world betrays thee, one sword at least thy rights shall guard. One faithful harp shall praise thee. The minstrel fell, but the foeman's chains could not bring his proud soul under. The song he sung never spoke again, for they tore his cords asunder, and said, no chain shall sully thee, the soul of love and liberty. Thy songs were made for the pure and free, and shall ne'er sound in slavery. Land of song, said the warrior bard, though all the world betrays thee, one sword at least thy rights shall guard, one faithful harp shall praise thee. I fucked up a couple words, but that's okay.
Thank you so much for
You're
being
welcome.
here tonight, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, dude. And thank you again so much, Carl Callan, for being here tonight. And thank you, everybody who watched tonight, man. Please hit like and share it, all that other kind of good stuff. And look for all these guys who are here tonight. And what else were we going to say?
That we would be back in mid-October.
We will be back in mid-October with season 12.
But
and
we will have performances.
yes, we are working on a couple of specials between now and then that are going to be amazing. So stay tuned for that. We have all kinds of other content to put out that's coming up. And this has really been the best season of Awesome Talk of all time. And I miss the people who aren't here, who couldn't make it tonight for a variety of different reasons. And I'm just really grateful because we put a lot of work into the start of this season, and it just did exactly what we really hoped it would do. And I really love all you guys, and I'm really happy that you're all here. So thank you very much. This has been Awesome Talk, Season 11, Episode 12, on April 27th, 2019. Thank you all very much for drinking with us.